Good morning, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Great to be here with all of you live on the radio this morning. We are a man down. Benjamin Higgins is on his golf trip out in Nevada. And I texted him this morning, and he just hearted it, which means leave me alone. I'm on vacation. Don't bother me right now. I told him post some stuff on social media. So we need material, right? And give us something to work with while you're gone. I think we're all pretty good about that.
Hard to work with. Well, nothing.
Yeah, just a heart. He just hearted me. That's it. And then did not respond. So listen, we got a really fun show for you guys. Really, really fun. It should be a fun next couple of days. Interesting, if nothing else. And I promise you this, we're going to try to have a good time while we're in here. 4 hours today, 4 hours tomorrow. And we got the roundtable today after the show. I'm Woodsy. That is Paul Reindl. He is the executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paul.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I said this last week. Thursday is that weird day that for whatever reason, my body screams, get up, get up.
Oh.
And I tell my body and I look at the clock, I go, it's only 2. I don't need to be up at 2. And your body says, no, get up. You have the gnarliest day ahead. Get up now. So you feel so good.
Our bodies are very different.
They are different. They are different.
Mine says, you got a long day.
Sleep in, pal.
Take it easy.
Take it easy on yourself. So I was up at about 2.
It is not a sprint.
No. Today is crazy. 2 a.m. And I laid there for a while, then got up. I was in here by 4:15, and I would have been here earlier, but they had shut down the 52 on me, so I had to go down, had to loop around, had to go a back route to get here. But otherwise, I would have been here way earlier than that. I don't like to work at night ever. I really don't. I like to be with my kids, and I like to get a good night's. Well, I like to get in bed. I did not get a good night's sleep. But when I talk about a long day, we'll do this. Then we've got the round table. Should be a good one today. Sammy Levitt's going to be on there. Tony Gwynn Jr. is going to be on there.
Your host, Chris Ello.
Your host will be Chris Ello. So it's a little different today.
And he's also got a long day. Chris Ello has a very long day.
Does he?
Well, he's got to come in early for the round table, which early, it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Earlier for him, who's usually here at 2 o'clock.
Yep.
Then he's got to do his show.
Yep.
With no Padres game today.
Correct.
So they got a full show.
They got a full show.
And then I believe at 5 o'clock. So their normal show will not go until 6. They'll go until from 2 to 5. Then he's got draft coverage.
They're doing live draft coverage.
I think until like 9 o'clock at night.
Which is insane to me. They volunteered for that, by the way. That's like a volunteer. They wanted to do it.
That's a long ass day.
That's a long ass day.
That's 2 to 9 p.m. on the air.
Yeah, that's a long day. That's 7 hours of chit chat.
And I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna like go to live coverage. I imagine they will,
like for the picks and stuff.
The CBS Sports, national feed or whatever. Maybe you can like run to the bathroom there or grab some water then or something like that. But that's gonna be like 7 straight hours in the chair here for Chris Ello today.
That's a long time. Yeah. It's a long time to have to hear yourself talk. I'll do the round table. Then I got to haul ass back to Encinitas. Got marriage counseling. It's marriage counseling Thursday, which has been so great for my wife and I. We really have figured a lot of stuff out. Not that anything was terribly wrong, right? But it's just a good place to go bounce ideas off of. And, it's not to the point where it's like, oh, you're dead.
You're not trying to save your marriage.
No, you're trying to strengthen it. That's right. That's right. Yeah, you may be really physically fit. You can always do more. And that's kind of how we look at it. And plus, like, there's such a stigma attached, I think, with counseling in general. I mean, you saw it on my Twitter last week. I tweeted something about therapy, and some guy called me gay and then weak-minded. And I thought to myself, no, I said, no, it doesn't, that's not what it means. It's a stigma. And so I figure if I talk about it and let other people know, because I'm sure there are spouses out there go, man, I wish my wife or I wish my husband would actually go and do therapy. And for whatever reason, the other person doesn't want to, hey, I'm just going to tell you, like, if you find the right one, it really, really helps. It really, really helps. There's no question. And so, for us, I think like a lot of married couples, you get in these grooves, and sometimes they're really good grooves. And then sometimes they're really bad grooves, like a rut. to where it's like, hey, man, we're in this cycle. We got to break this cycle. We need to go out and do a date night. We need to do something. But the funny thing is, man, you have to look at the lighter side of marriage sometimes. And so yesterday was a perfect example of the lighter side of marriage. And I walked in after the show. And I walked into my house and it was empty. And I said, why does our house smell like garbage? Like it smelled like garbage, like a garbage can had rotten vegetables or fruit in it.
Right.
My house never smells like garbage, ever. Our house is pretty immaculate.
Like it was noticeable.
No, I walked in, what is that? So I walk around, Paulie, in the kitchen, and our garbage cans are in like a drawer that you pull out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that drawer's open. Both bags are full and kind of tied, but no, they weren't taken out to the garbage can, which is fine. Like that's a nice little cue for me. Hey, take out the garbage.
Oh, see, I'm totally different than you.
So I walk in, I see it, and I go, all right, well, clearly this is the culprit. And I take it out, and then I change the bags, and I move on with my day, and I don't complain about it.
I would have complained.
So I just was like,
I would have said, why did we tie the garbage bags and not just take them out?
It's a passive aggressive hint, which is fine. That's how she operates, and I know that now. And I know it's just, she's also getting both kids off to school in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, hey, homie can do it when he gets home from work. No problem. And I used to have a problem with it. I don't anymore. Now I know she couldn't get to it. I'll do it. So I walk in, I go, man, it reeks. It friggin' reeks in here. So I look around. We don't have like Lysol or Febreze or anything like that.
Oof.
She doesn't use the aerosol can. So we just don't have it.
Yeah.
And so I go, all right. I look around and I see on the counter, there's 2 candles. And I go, I'm going to light these right now because I got to get this stench out of this house. I don't want to relax and watch this game in a dumpster. And so I light the candles. And I go watch the Padres game, and we all know how that went. We'll talk about that in our crap up coming up in just a little bit. But I light the candles, and then later on, I leave them burning for a while. She comes home, and I'm in the kitchen. She goes, oh, I see you lit my candle. I said, yeah, I did. Our house smelled like garbage. She goes, oh, well, lighting candles is it's kind of a sacred thing. And I go, what? And she said, my mom gave me that candle and I wasn't sure I was going to keep it or not. And I go, well, why is it on the counter next to a book of matches? And she said, well, And I said, are you trying to tell me now that the candle that is on display is a show candle and is not to be lit? And she says, no, I just hadn't really decided what I was going to do with it. I go, well, what were the options? Were you going to drive it? Were you going to throw it? Were you going to give it back, return it? Your mom gave it to you. Are you now telling me that I can't light your candle? I'm not allowed to light your candle. You have to light your candle first. These are the things that we're going to be talking about today at noon. Things like that. Lessons that I had never learned, Paulie. I didn't know that the lighting of a candle was sacred. Have you ever heard this before?
Totally.
So it smelled really good. I was glad I lit it because it got the garbage smell out of the home. But I thought
it's not your candle to light.
I thought to myself all day after this happened, I went, did I do something wrong here? If it was such a special candle, keep it away from me, right? Hide it, bring it out at your whimsy whenever you want, and then you can light it. And I just went, I don't know. Then Hannah said, then it had to stay lit for 6 full hours while it primed the wax. Egregious. I learned this recently. She also said, do not blow it out, whatever you do. I said, why? She said, a candle has to burn the right way. And I go, oh, okay. News to me. I thought I
learned about that a couple years ago.
Yeah, there's a certain way that it needs to be extinguished or you do it wrong. And I did it wrong. And so I went, all right, I'll just go F myself for the rest of my life. Should I have, Paulie, what would have been the right move? Should I have texted her, hey, babe, as a 49-year-old man, May I light this candle, please? Because our house smells like a dumpster. Like an old fruit stand that had gone rotten.
Did you buy the candle
No.
or bring the candle into the home?
I did not. Her mother gave it to her.
I think you got to ask her.
I got to ask her to light her candle in my home.
Yeah, it's not yours.
I thought when you're married, everything in there is each other's.
No.
That's not the case.
Saying in my household is what's mine is yours and what's yours is yours.
Right. Orthodox Evans with a good idea. Get Woods a Fisher Price My First Candle set. Yes, and then I'll be allowed to use them. I just was confused. I do feel like sometimes she looks for a reason to break my balls. And I feel like yesterday was a perfect example of that. I just wanted the garbage smell to be gone. Since the bags were there rotting for several hours before I got home.
I think you need to go get your own candle.
So now I gotta
and write your name on it.
Now I gotta go buy my own candle, my own juice, my own crackers. I'm telling you, I didn't know that it was so.
The evenly burned candle, that's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
And I didn't know about that.
And you probably got in trouble for blowing it out. You can never blow a candle out.
No.
You have to put the thing on top.
Let the lack of air
take
it out.
Get it.
We actually have, my wife just got this new device that sits on like our mantle where we have some candles. It's a lamp that has a swivel head above the candle. You put the candle on a little tray there, and the lamp, you can turn up how bright it is or how dim it will be, and it warms the candle up.
Yes.
And you get the smell of the candle without an actual flame.
It's pretty genius.
And a bunch of dripping wax, and it evenly burns the candle perfectly. I thought that's genius. But no, I'm on Team Hannah for this.
You're on Team Hannah on this one.
Yeah.
What? Team Hannah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Look, we've been over this. She scares me.
She is really terrifying. She's really
Before you even started, I go, I'm on Team Hannah for this one.
She is really terrifying. So I'll see what
love you, Hannah.
I'll see what our doctor has to say about this today. I really will. And we'll see. And it's the fun part about marriage counseling is sometimes you do get to say, and she'll go, oh yeah, Hannah, no, that's not the right way to handle that. And it feels so victorious. And I know it shouldn't be that way, but we are human after all. But I guess I should have. Here's what will happen. I will end up, Paulie, having to turn to her on the couch and do this. You ready? Babe, I'm really sorry I lit that candle yesterday. I probably should have asked, since it was, in fact, a virgin candle, I should have asked if you wanted to be the one that lit it first for symbolism.
It's not your fault.
Things that I never knew existed.
It's not your fault.
I know.
It's not your fault.
I know it's not.
Look at me.
It's not your fault.
I know it's not. These are the things. This is the minutia that can weigh you down sometimes in your marriage, and you have to find the neutral party to go in and like be an arbiter of it. You know what I mean? Arbitrator. But somebody to go in and say, hey, you're both being insane. Knock it off and figure it out, right? Go out to dinner, do your 6-second hug, whatever, but get this thing going. And I filed it away immediately when she said it. And I was actually grateful for it. I go, this is going to be a great open tomorrow.
Will you have your therapist call in at 6 a.m. tomorrow to update us on who won Candlegate 2025?
Who won the candle fight? When you guys, what is your most severe argument?
Our most severe argument,
or like your most standard petty? Is there a petty like, oh, Paulie leaves his clothes everywhere, Paulie leaves his shoes there? Like, you're such a neat and orderly guy.
Yeah,
you're such a neat and orderly guy.
I'm
like, your car is dialed in, your clothes are dialed in. I've been on trips with you where like my stuff looks like a bomb, and Paulie's is like he's in there ironing his socks. I'm like, what in the world, dude?
Our biggest argument is usually several times a week. What do you want for dinner?
Yeah, that's standard.
But that's very standard, I would imagine. I probably don't do things like as quickly as Megan would like. If she'll ask me to do something,
yeah, you take your time.
I say yes, but I always say like, yeah, on my time.
Yeah. When I get to it,
unless it's like emergency, like no, this needs to be done right now. But if it's like, hey, can you take out the trash today? I'm like, yeah, I will. Like next time I get up, or next time I'm in the kitchen.
I'm not going to jump when you say jump. In fact, I do, and you're probably like me, where you're like, yeah, I'll get to it. I promise you, I will. I will not forget.
And I think I always do, but end up doing it.
But the problem is, Paulie, you know what happens? Sometimes you forget. And those are the times they go, if you had just done it when I asked, then we wouldn't be having this discussion. And you look at them and you say, you know what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Had I done it when you asked, she said, can you take the garbage out? Yeah, I'll do it. No problem. Babe, do I ever forget? Guess what happens? I forget. And then I'm the idiot for not just going out and doing it. So,
but like if Megan's like, hey, can you refill my water? I'm not going to be like, in 3 hours,
I'll get to it.
Yeah,
100%.
But if it's like, hey, next time you're up, can you grab this?
Yeah.
I'm like, does that mean get up right now and go get that? Or does that mean literally next time I'm up, go grab it? But
it's so good.
You're kind of pulling. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. As most arguments aren't in our home. That's the thing, is when you really look at it, it's not.
I am always just so happy with our marriage in that like our biggest fights, they're that kind of stuff.
Correct.
And you're like, this was nothing.
Yeah, we've gotten to that point. Wasn't always this way when you're trying to raise kids and you don't know what you're doing.
Sure.
But now you get in that groove and you're like, oh, so now we're just going to do petty stuff, which is fine.
We'll do the petty stuff. Yeah. And then an hour later,
like,
that was so stupid.
No, 100%.
Like it's nothing lingering. It's nothing actually like of substance. It's just these stupid little taking out the garbage type things.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Burning somebody's candles that you're not supposed to touch.
Yeah. Just needing to ask permission to light candles in your own home. But no, I well, thank you guys. We're going to get to our Padres crap up. Look, I do want to get into some of the particulars of yesterday's game, some of the overreaction that I saw, some of the overreaction maybe that I even felt yesterday as well. There's a lot to talk about. The sky is not falling, though. I'm not feeling doomery even in the slightest right now, not even a little bit. So that hopefully will put your mind at ease, but you can fan however you want. And you can buy a car wherever you want, anywhere you want to. But I'm going to tell you my recommendation.
Wow, I can't see too well. Is that Ben Higgins, the Segway King over there?
Ben Higgins at your service. You can buy a car wherever you want, but my recommendation is to head over to Sedano Ford in La Mesa. Summer is right around the corner. Want to get you a new whip for the summer? I totally get it. Makes perfect sense to me. Right now, my friends over at Manny Sedano Ford, veteran-owned local dealership, they're going to give you a shot at employee pricing. That's the kind of insider deal reserved for the folks behind the scenes. Now wide open to you. You have to check out the new 2025 Ford Maverick. Just $219 a month, tariff-free. It's such a good value on a truck that I'm seeing popping up everywhere where I live. I mean, I told you, I went for a walk on the weekend. I saw 3 of them on my street. Like, it's crazy how much the Ford Maverick is moving right now. So check it out. You will love it. If you can't make it down to the dealership in La Mesa, just go to sedanoford.com for all the details, the offers, and grab that spring deal before it's gone. Once again, head on over to sedanoford.com for complete details and let them know Woodsy, the Candle Master from 97.3 The Fan, sent you over.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
I tell you, man, if you're not watching on YouTube and part of the chat, I get it. Like if you are driving or something, obviously I don't want you on our YouTube chat participating. But I'm telling you, it is a cavalcade of just hysteria. Every day it is so funny. And most days I absolutely love it. And we have, again, the greatest audience ever. You guys are so involved and weighing in. And I steal so much material and lines from you guys. So I appreciate that. I'd like to give you guys all credit. I try. But, man, you guys are hysterical. And there's so many people in there right now interacting. It's one big dysfunctional family on the Ben and Woods YouTube chat. Welcome back in. Got our Padres crap up. That's what happens when we lose. Not the most fun game of all time yesterday at all. Was really looking forward to getting home. Had the whole house to myself. It did smell like garbage. But I was going to watch that, and I did watch that entire game.
Should have bought a candle.
In silence, Paulie. And I was happy. Got a little Jersey Mike's.
Nice.
Was pretty happy. And then, we know what happened with the offense, I guess, or didn't happen, as it were. We will talk about that in the crap up. And I just had mentioned that our beloved Ben Higgins is on vacation, and he does a really good job when he's on vacation of not making us jealous at all. And it was like he was listening, and he did go to his Instagram story, and Paulie, and did finally post some content. He's been gone for 24 hours. Now, credit to him for, again, not making us super jealous of him on vacation. What did he post?
He posted a picture of 2 hats.
Oh, there it is.
With the caption, "Team hats for our member guest golf tournament in Henderson."
Okay, and one is an orange hat that says Pomona Pitzer on it. The other one is a blue hat that's a Goat Hill hat. So it had he posted, Paulie, the sun coming up over this beautiful, spectacular golf course, we would have seen it and gone, oh, that SOB.
Yeah.
That SOB, man. Look at him out there having a great time. Now you see this and go,
maybe
oh,
a pool,
yeah.
Nice weather, yeah. The
delicious breakfast, a sunrise, whatever. So he does a good job. Content king, the content master, Ben Higgins, posted his hats. I'm excited for him today. He's very nervous about his tournament that he's in. His buddy, I mean, think about it, Paulie. His buddy brings him out there because he's like a 4 handicap.
Yeah, he's supposed to be his ringer.
He's got to be his ringer. And he takes a lot of that pressure on himself. And he was sweating it all week. Oh, I'm just not confident in this. I'm trying to pump him up. First thing I texted him this morning, Benny, trust your swing, trust your driver. He hits the straightest driver I've ever seen. It's always in the fairway.
Let it rip.
Let it rip, dude. Let it eat. And that's what I told him. Just hit it straight. So he's sweating it right now. But he did post those hats, and he's in good shape. So when we come back, I know we have a really cool show for you guys. I'm excited to welcome at 7 a.m. this morning in about an hour and a half. Wait, no, half an hour. Jake G from CBS 8. I believe when we had him on last time, we asked him, how exactly do you pronounce your last name?
And he told us,
and we forgot.
Yeah.
So I think it's Garrett. My guess is Garignani. And his cousin's in the chat every single day. But Jake's going to come in and hang out with us, talk some San Diego sports. Got some big Aztecs news to talk about as well. Some excellent news.
Surprising.
To talk about. And, of course, the great Eno Saris will join us at 8:35. And then I think Sammy's going to be in. He's going to hang out with us for a bit, too.
Sammy's got to do the round table today.
Sammy's on the round
he'll
table.
already be here. So he'll pop in the studio in the 9 o'clock hour, and we'll just party this morning.
We will get it. We'll get after it. We'll have fun. We'll talk some Padres baseball. You know what? I was thinking, too, yesterday. I'm looking at this go, man, we have not taken calls in forever. Most of the time, there's a reason why we haven't, but sometimes it's good to check in with you guys. I don't want you guys to ever perceive us as just sitting here in our bubble, talking down to you. We're so smart. You're so dumb. I want your opinions. I value your opinions. Try to make them semi-rational and make sense. Like I'm seeing people calling for Leo to be called up right now, Paulie. That's not rational to me.
Yeah,
he's an 18-year-old in single A that had a really good night a couple of nights ago. I don't think he's ready for big league caliber pitching yet. I don't.
I would agree with you.
I feel like that's not
I don't think it's a hot take.
I don't think it's like Woods is being a jerk and a know-it-all by saying that. If you call later, because I do want to hear from you, try to be semi-rational and think we'll all think it through together. We're just talking through. That's it. That's
all we're doing.
All right. So we'll come back with the Padres crap up. First, I want to tell you about Underdog, one of the best places to make picks during the basketball playoffs with their extender promo. With that extender promo, you can play your way to increasingly bigger boosts each round of the playoffs. Start a playoff series by using your game one boost. Continue boosting each subsequent game to unlock the next one. The longer the series, the bigger the boosts. The leading place to make all your sports picks. Yeah, you can mix and match different sports. Do a lot of baseball on there. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't gotten much into the NBA playoffs yet, but a lot of baseball in there. But if you are a hoops guy, it's a great place to go and play daily fantasy.
Oh,
yeah, there he is. Nobody better. You can choose from things like points, assists, so much more. Pretty simple, guys. If you start with as little as $1, if you got everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. It's a lot of fun playing Underdog. Download the Underdog app today. Sign up with the promo code WOODS to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. When you make your first deposit, promo code is WOODS. Must be 18 and over, 19 and over in Alabama, Nebraska, present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/extend.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. We'll be right back.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Welcome back, Ben and Woods. 97-3, The Fan. That was not our favorite Padres game yesterday. First time they've been shut out all season. And, there's a part of me that's like, that's all right, that's pretty cool. As we've shut out 7 teams. You know what I mean?
First time they've been shut out. First time they've lost a series finale.
Right? Yeah, that's right. That's right. It was, there's some stuff to talk about. There's really not a lot you can look at from that game and go, hell yeah, at least blank happened, right? Like, you can try to find positives in almost anything in life, but that's one yesterday. Happy to flush, get the hell out of town, get on back here, get a day off, and get ready to tee it up again with the Tampa Bay Rays, who will be here tomorrow. So obviously looking forward to that series. I know the guys are looking forward to being back home. Have not played that well on the road. Then again, as I mentioned yesterday, not a lot of people are. Not a lot of teams are playing great on the road, guys. I don't know what to tell you. This isn't a Padres problem.
Yeah, that's not a phenomenon in 2025 either. That's just pretty standard.
It's like standard right now.
And I do think you look at the 2 road trips that the team has been on.
Yeah.
Am I looking through rose-colored glasses, glass half full type energy here? Yeah, of course. But that first trip, you had cold weather.
Nasty,
you're playing in a AAA stadium in Sacramento.
Yep.
It was weird. This one, you had the night game on Sunday night. Super scary moment for everybody.
They won that game. You beat Framber Valdez.
You didn't get in until 4 a.m. in Detroit. And Randy Vasquez had to be on that overnight, the red-eye flight with the team. He pitched bad on Monday. Like, I'm looking at all these. I'm making excuses. I totally understand that. But I'm also like,
well, and you forgot the biggest one of all time. You're missing 4 elite players, or at least 4 left-handed
You're
bats.
running out of AAA lineup with Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado.
That's exactly right. And, but again, we'll talk about it. Let's get to our Padres crap up after we check traffic with Kelly Danick.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by local and veteran-owned Kearney Mesa Volkswagen. Just one problem to mention here. Looks like a stalled car partially blocking Imperial Avenue off-ramp, southbound 805. No tariffs, no gimmicks, just real spring deals at Kearney Mesa Volkswagen. Drive a 2025 Jetta Sport for $249 or a 2025 Taos SE for $259 from your local veteran-owned dealership. For more details about these specials, go to KearneyMesaVolkswagen.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's a shame if they lose.
You got a problem.
Oh, a shame indeed.
I couldn't agree more.
Here are the lowlights from yesterday's game.
What the heck happened?
Are you kidding me?
Can't even believe it.
It's the Padres
Crap up.
presented by Hamul Casino. Things are about to get real with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort with gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks. It gets real this summer at Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
We'll give it 16 minutes of salt, and then we'll, get back on the bump and figure it out.
Ended up making him pay.
This one is hammered to left field, and no doubt. Gleyber Torres up over the old ball in left field. His second home run as a Tiger. Solo shot in the bottom of the first inning. And Detroit, with their first home run of the series, they take a 1-0 lead. This one hit well in the air to deep left center field. Ornelas racing back at the wall, and it's going to go. Line drive, home run to left center for Justin Henry Malloy, his first. And the Tigers have doubled their lead. It's 2-0. 2-2. Malloy slices it in the air to right. Long run. Not going to get there. Gonzalez has to play it on a couple of hops. Now he falls over in foul territory. Sweeney's going to try and score. Iglesias' relay to the plate is on time, but off target, and he scores. Malloy ends up at second base, and the Tiger lead is 3-0. 0-1 to Riley Green. Morejon's pitch is hit on a line into left center. That's a base hit. Going to get another run home. Malloy rounding third. He'll score without a play. 2-out RBI knock. Riley Green, and the Tiger lead is now 4-0. And Yuki Set now delivers, and that's hit in the air to deep left field. Ornelas is at the wall. He will turn to watch, and it's going to go. A 2-run homer for Dylan Digler, his third of the year. And the Tiger lead is now 6-0 here in the bottom of the eighth. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Vest. The pitch to Joe, swung on and missed. That is strike 3 and the ball game. Tigers behind Reese Olson shut out the Padres 6-0. First time this year the Pods have been blanked. And the Tigers take 2 out of 3 as the Padre trip comes to an end with a 2-4 record. They'll take the day off tomorrow and then return to home sweet home this weekend against Tampa Bay.
I thought he settled in. Torres got him, bases loaded. Was able to, get a couple punch outs, settle in, get into the fifth, give us a chance. So, Rocky early, righted the ship, had Jacob ready. They're going to go if we bring Jacob in for Malloy to Carpenter more than likely. And so, Malloy got him, but he gave us more than a chance to win a baseball game.
It's absolutely right from the skipper, Mike Schilt, when he's talking about Kyle Hart. And it's not groundbreaking stuff from Ben and Woods to sit in here and tell you yesterday, hey, man, keep us in a ball game. Your fifth starter, keep us in a ball game. You got a fresh and rested bullpen. Just get out there and keep us in a ball game. I would say 4 2/3, giving up 2 solo shots. The definition of your fifth starter keeping you in a ball game. Was very, very impressed with the bounce back from Kyle Hart. I got to tell you, because the way it was looking early was like, bro, we just rolled a jugs gun, like a jugs machine out there.
Set it to 88.
They set it to 88 and said,
have fun, boys.
Tee off, fellas.
Yeah. My mentality, my attitude changed a hell of a lot from the first inning to, the 4th inning.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, he's actually settled in pretty nicely. What is that, 7 in a row?
Struck out 6. Again, guy kept you in a ball game. Now, this is the one I was waiting for, and I knew that my man Purple would bring it in the chat. So I had DMs about this yesterday. People were very upset that Mike Schilt in the 9th inning decided to pinch hit for Fernando Tatis Jr., Gavin Sheets, and Manny Machado. Down 6-0 on the road. A listless, lifeless offense all day. Again, what did we have? 2 hits yesterday? Is that right? 2 hits?
2 hits.
2 hits.
Yeah.
Reese Olson was fantastic, man. He looked like Greg Maddux. Paint, corner, paint. Everything was down. Manny talked about it after the game. He's like, dude was great. Like, everything was down. There was nothing up that we could handle. And I had a buddy text me like, why are they going up there and hacking early? I go, because it looks like a heater out of his hand. And so you see a heater dead red, and you're like, all right, I'm going to tattoo this thing.
And it just falls off the table.
Whoop, and it's a pitcher that throws well enough to locate. Kyle Glazer, I watched his podcast yesterday. Kyle goes, he's the best pitcher you've never heard of. And I go, you know what? You're right. Sammy had a lot of good things to say about him as well yesterday.
Now, the frustrating thing is that happens a lot, it seems like, to us over the years. Really.
Over the years.
It happened a lot last year.
It did. This year, not so much.
Team still won 93 games last year.
That's exactly right.
But it's these, you look at just on paper.
Well, he was good last year.
He was. He's a good pitcher. But you see these guys, they're not the household names. Their record may not be indicative of how they've actually been throwing all year or anything like that. And you go, oh, I haven't heard of this guy very much, so we need to win today.
Correct.
Why does he look like Nolan Ryan?
Yeah. Well, in this case, it was Greg Maddux. I mean, truly, like artfully painting the corners, in, out. He was really good. I mean, he was really, really good. And Paulie, I don't have an answer for that other than the fact that, with familiarity with guys, it's easier. Like, it's the devil, And while they may have better stuff sometimes, you're more comfortable. You've seen them more. You got more to go off of. But Reese Olson needs to be given a lot of credit. Yeah, I don't know that I loved that game plan of going up and swing. What did the guy have? He had 60 pitches through 7 or something.
Yeah,
like that's not a good game plan to go up there and just hack. But as far as Purple's comment about punting in the ninth, guys, I need you to listen on this one. I couldn't have had less of a problem with that. If I'm Mike Schilt, and I always try to put myself in the manager's shoes, always.
What's up, my dudes? How you doing?
I'm good, Schilty. Let me defend you for a moment here.
No, yeah, of course.
Thank you. Yeah, of course I will. Bought and paid for, right? So I'm watching that, and the only thing, like, Tatis had a hit streak going. Okay, I don't care about hit streaks. I care about wins, and I care about health. Health being the most important thing. If it is 6-0 and it is the top of the ninth and you have 2 hits on the day and Fernando Tatis Jr. comes up and he hits a little chopper to third and he is tearing ass down the line to get that hit, maybe extend that hit streak to again, he's not going for DiMaggio's record here. It's like to extend it to 12 games maybe. And he comes up and pulls a hammy. Or the pitcher gets squirrely and drills him in the wrist.
Yeah, breaks his hand.
And then if Gavin Sheet, the same thing happened to Gavin Sheets or Manny Machado. You think you're hurting now in a 6-0 game, guys? I am so okay. If you want to call it waving the white flag, you want to call it surrendering, okay.
That happens.
Sometimes it's the prudent thing to do, man.
I promise you, if it's 2-0, that doesn't.
Bro,
he doesn't make that decision.
Of course, man.
6-0, you're teetering on position player pitching territory.
You're getting close. You're getting close. And I want that. The thought of that makes my stomach turn because losing Crony.
You got a problem.
Yeah, you'd have a huge problem. And I'm telling you, man, you got to think about the inverse of it. If that happens, and Tatis pulls his hammy in a 6-0 game to extend a hit streak, Mike Schilt is dead. He's dead. I'm roasting him. I'm crushing him. If pitch gets up and away, breaks somebody's wrist, hurts somebody, we cannot afford any more injuries, man. We just cannot afford one more guy to get hurt. And so I had I had no problem with it. I just had no problem with it. I really didn't.
I pretty much chalked that game up to an L in like the 4th inning. Yeah. It didn't look like we had it.
You gotta play the long game. And it's a perfect example. I think Dave Roberts talked about it yesterday. Blake Snell played catch and he said didn't feel right. Didn't feel great. Okay, no problem. Let's extend your IL. Let's make sure and his quote was, we've got to think about the long game. And I don't know that any team right now needs to think about the long game more than the San Diego Padres. This is a war of attrition right now. And we're losing the war of attrition, Paulie, because you've got 4 essentially starters on the IL. You cannot afford a 5th and you cannot afford a 6th. And, it's not going to preclude me from playing them against Tampa Bay. No, they got to be in there. If something happens, then I can live with it. I cannot live with it yesterday. Fernando wears one in the wrist. It's the only thing I thought of. I was like, thank God that Connor Joe and these other guys are coming up to get some ABs right now, because if something happens to one of those 3 and maybe 4, we're dead. We're dead. There's no coming back from it.
We're down.
We're already teetering
6-0. There. You're looking at a 2-4 road trip. You're just trying to get out of there.
Yep.
Now, if you flipped it and the narratives were reversed and we're up big on Friday night, Michael King's got a no-hitter through 7, but he's at 115 pitches.
He's gone.
Get his ass out of there.
We need him.
I don't give a damn about the no-hitter.
I don't.
Get the combined no-hitter. Whoop-de-doo.
Just get the win.
Get the win,
guys.
And stay healthy.
And I'll tell you this, Kyle had another really good nugget on his podcast yesterday. Only the White Sox and the Marlins have used more position players at this point in the season. 25 games in? The White Sox and the Marlins, who are shuffling guys in to see if anybody gives them any sort of spark whatsoever. We are not doing it for that reason. We are doing it because we have guys that are hurt. And I don't know when they're coming back. I don't know when Jackson's supposed to come back. They are keeping it close to the vest because they don't want to get anybody's hopes up. I mean, you never know with a hammy. he could go out for a jog today or do some of the dribbling that he's been doing, and he could tweak it again. You just have to play it so safe right now. And if you want to get on your high horse and beat your chest about you never give up, you never quit, fine. I look at it as just being prudent, man, and having to be smart, knowing you got 140 games left to go, that you cannot afford to lose a Manny, a Tatis, a Gavin Sheets, and even a Xander Bogaerts at this point. You just can't. But
any regulars,
you
got to be careful.
The good news is they still have the best record in the West at 17-8, which is just insane. I mean, they are 100% staying afloat right now.
How are Cubs helping us out a little bit?
The Cubs, and I'll tell you this about that game last night, Paulie. Cubs did sweep the Dodgers, which was just two of the more exciting games that I think I've ever seen. I did tweet yesterday, the Cubs cannot keep living like this. Every game is like night one at Coachella. Like, you get out there, the drive is great, it's beautiful. You get your wristband and you meet up with your buddies, and next thing you know, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. And it's a party. You find you're in the Sahara tent till 3 a.m. The Cubs are in the Sahara tent every single night, going bananas. Their bullpen is a little bit shot. They're piecing it together. Their offense is staggeringly good. They don't quit. They give you great ABs. I couldn't have been more wrong about the Cubs and Pete Crow Armstrong. Great. In my mind, we had this conversation before the season. I go, I don't know, man. I just, good. He reminded me of Trent Grisham. I was like, really good glove, can't hit. The guy's elite hitter.
Turning into a star.
He's a star.
Yeah.
And he turned down a big extension from them as well, which right now he looks like a genius for doing. So they're a really fun team to watch. Dodgers, again, going with a bullpen day yesterday. There's a lot of teams that are beat up right now. And it's funny, man. I was looking at the standings this morning. We picked a decent time to have a little bit of a skid, to have a 2-4 road trip, because guess what? The LA Dodgers in their last 10, 5-5.
Yeah.
San Francisco Giants in their last 10, 5-5. Arizona Diamondbacks 7-3 in their last 10. So they're on the come. Is what we talked about on the roundtable, and I'm sure we'll discuss it again. This West is no joke. But I'll tell you this too. I am watching these pockets of baseball games every day. Can I just tell you, dude, that I don't know that I've seen the fervor for baseball like I'm seeing in markets like New York, what the Mets are doing. They've won 7, 8 in a row. Citi Field is jamming. Petco Park is jamming. Wrigley Field was like a nightclub. It was insane. I love this for baseball. The fact that so many fan bases are watching and living and dying with what their teams are doing because they feel like their team has a shot, especially in the NL right now. Like,
sure.
You look at this, the passion for this game is through the roof.
You look at how competitive the National League is.
And these games have been so entertaining. Like, they've been so entertaining.
That's why in the first weekend of the year, we're going, you just took 4 games from the Braves. That could come back and matter.
I know.
Late September.
I know, man. I know. It was they're huge. I mean, the Cubs now won the season series against the Dodgers. We split with them. So all this stuff is going to come back.
Kind of a bummer that we've played the Cubs all of our games already.
I know.
Year. Like, I would have liked to see some of these matchups late August, early September, when it's really crunch time. But
I mean, look, if everyone keeps going at this frenetic pace, they're all going to meet in the playoffs. It's going to be who has the best bullpen, who has the most health. But it's been a lot of fun, man. We got a special guest coming in studio, Jake Garriani. We learned how to say
he
his
is
name.
here. We're going to go grab him right now.
We'll grab him right now. We'll have some fun for the next couple of hours. And we got Eno Saris coming up at 8:35 as well.
And next, we forgot to give you your cue to call.
We sure did.
For some Elton John tickets. We will let you know all about that next.
All right, let's go. Welcome back, Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. Great to be here with you on a Thursday, kicking around, that Padres game yesterday. If you guys want to call in, you can, 833-288-0973. Got a very special guest in studio as well. Benjamin Higgins is out today. He's on a golf vacation, so we wanted to welcome in one of his, I guess you would say, his competitors, Jake Garriani from CBS 8. Good morning, buddy.
Appreciate you having me.
Welcome in, man.
Yeah, I'm not used to getting up this early, but I kind of did a routine for myself. I got up, lit myself a candle. It's a very kind of sacred moment.
Sacred moment, yes.
To light a candle, let it burn for about 6 hours before I snuffed it out. And then I shot Ben a text, and he sent me this long paragraph back that was just like, thanks so much.
Just sweet angel.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Really took the time to get back to me. So, no, it's been a great morning. Appreciate it.
Good. What time do you usually have to roll out of bed?
I go in to anchor the sportscast at about 3 p.m. So that's got me getting up at about 9 a.m. on an early day.
To get your work in before.
To get my work in my life done before, to get workouts in, take care of the house a little bit, and then I head into work around 2 o'clock because we live far away, like an hour away.
Yeah.
And then I'm off around midnight. We have an 11:30 news, so I kind of the exact opposite of what you guys typically do. I almost just slept in this building,
opposite of
but
what
there's
we
a key
do.
card.
Ben does it every night.
Ben does that and this.
And I have given that man his flowers for the longest time because I don't know when the dude sleeps, and I don't know how I just have no clue how he does it. That dude's a legend.
He's like a bat. I think he hangs upside down. Well, my favorite story about Ben is that my dude sleeps on top of the covers. He gets home, he takes his clothes off, and he sleeps on top of the covers. He does not get under the covers. I picture him like a vampire, like laying on top. Yeah, on top.
Yeah.
No blanket.
How's that possible?
I don't know.
We said, only in hotels? He goes, no, even at home.
At home. Sleeps on top.
It's a little terrifying.
It's a little terrifying.
I'm not going to sit in the man's chair and say too much about him.
Exactly.
That's a little wild that we're sleeping on top of the covers.
It's very strange. But again, you're talking about a guy that gets like 4 hours a night of sleep.
That's a good point, actually. Maybe he's just like crashing.
Just exhausted.
Yeah,
just exhausted. But no, he's a different character. It takes a special breed to be able to do that. It takes a special breed to be able to do mornings or do nights. But to do them both is truly an incredible feat.
And at the level he does it.
Correct.
Right? The dude is amazing at what he does, both on here and on television. So, yeah.
There's no question. I get mad if I have an appointment. At like one appointment, I'm like, yelling at my wife, like, how dare you book this right now? But no, he's a legend. Well, how's everything been, man? How's business for you?
Life is good, man.
Good.
Life is very good. We're excited. We got the Padres on CBS 8.
I
10
know.
games this year, which is sweet. Our first one coming up Saturday. So work-wise is dope. Life-wise is dope.
So what does that mean for you?
It means essentially like the game will be the same. You'll have your pregame show with the guys. Don and Mudd will be on the postgame show. We'll just do a pregame show and a postgame show. And then the games will be available for free, which is quite rare.
I completely forgot that was a thing.
Yeah.
So I think we should probably actually remind all of our listeners.
Pull that bad boy closer.
A little too far.
Yeah,
away.
you want to
talk
be
right into
it.
The mic is usually on the lapel in TV, so I'm not
that's
used
right.
to this.
We don't have any of your fancy lapels.
We have no
here.
lapels or lavaliers.
So will the game still we have Cox Cable. It's typically on channel 83.
Yes.
So will it not be on 83 on Saturday? You're going to find it on CBS 8.
It will be on both. I technically shouldn't probably promote both. People
watch it on channel 8, right?
People can still watch it on the typical Padres station.
But I probably shouldn't promote that.
but yeah, no, watch it on channel 8 for sure.
Or
what do I do?
Just listen to it on 97.3 The Fan.
Exactly.
There are so many options. How many options are too many options, as my friend Kendrick would say? No, there are a lot of options, which is great. I think they're trying to figure out where this new media world's going to go with games and how people are going to take it in. I think this is a nice little way to kind of test the waters of free baseball, free cable television baseball. So it's exciting for us. We look forward to having them on there. And obviously the times could not be better right now to have Padres baseball.
It is crazy, man, because you do think about this town and I don't get real caught up in it like I used to, but there's a lot of squirrels and there's one nut out there and there's a lot of squirrels out there trying to do something different. Right. And I've always kind of embraced the new media scene.
Mm-hmm.
I actually love it. I think they're a bunch of super talented people out there with some super talented podcasts. Some guys fight it. I just have always thought, no, man, more is better. It is hard to distinguish yourself. It is hard to distinguish. You walk down to Petco Park, and there's Darnay, and there's Julian, and there's Ben, and there's all these people standing there with a mic looking for the same sound clips, the same old stuff. It makes it. If you let yourself think about it too much, you'll drive yourself crazy.
Dude, 1,000%. And the whole idea of it being so saturated is what is tricky now, right? Like everybody with a microphone and a light and a cell phone now is a journalist.
They're journalists. Yeah, that's right.
And a lot of them have great followings.
100%.
And a lot of them are really good at what they do, even though it's technically not this professional setting, right? But they're really good at it. And so it does become this saturated market. And I think everyone's going about it a different way. What I think is super cool about it, but tricky at the same time, is there are so many places you can get your information. You can get your content.
Yes.
People trust different things. People want to go to different things to get it. I like being behind the CBS, moniker, because it does feel like you have that trust built over time and all that stuff. But it is a saturated market, and I think a lot of like the big companies are worried about that. Like there's a lot of them that are like, hey, we don't know exactly where we're heading, so we're going to pull back a little bit.
Right.
And, it's got us doing about 15 different jobs at the same time.
That's right.
Of it.
That's right.
No, it's great. I don't think you can never have too much of it.
See, I do. I disagree. I feel like sometimes I'm like, if I got to listen to, like, I was driving into work this morning going, I mean, yeah, we're injured. Like the Padres are injured. What else is there to say? Everybody is talking about the injuries. Everybody is talking about, run prevention, grit squad, everything else. It's hard to differentiate yourself. And that's why I've always kind of like to go out of the box a little bit here on the show from time to time, because really you can get that stuff in 20 different places. I am so happy people have made this show, this radio station, their station of choice for those of you that have. But if you don't, I get it, because there's a billion other places to get this stuff out there. But for you, man, covering sports in San Diego, I've always said, look, man, it's the hardest place to cover sports in the country. I mean, as far as a mid-market, decent-sized market, yeah, if you're in Wichita, you're broadcasting to not that many people. There's still a lot of people that live here. They're on fire.
San Diego like the 7th or 8th highest populated city in America?
I think so, Paulie.
Media market, I know it's different.
But
there's a lot of people here.
There's a lot of people here. It's a tough place to do sports, because should I talk about the NFL? Shouldn't I? Why do people scream at me when I talk about the NFL? Do I mention the Chargers? Don't I mention the Chargers?
Yeah.
Why do people get mad at me when I do? Why do people get mad at me when I don't? Should we talk NBA? We don't have an NBA team. Our college football team's not that great. Should we talk more college football? Baseball team's great. Let's just do that.
I worried about that early in my career, about, hey, exactly how do we filter the content in a market that's a little bit rocky, in a sense of not having that obvious, we have the NFL team, we have the NBA team, we have the NHL team, and we have the MLB team. And then a little while along, I just said, I'm just going to do what entertains me.
That's
you
it.
know what I mean?
That's what
think
it boils
that's the
down
thing
to.
Is what you're talking about is like, if we were sitting around at a bar right now instead of in a radio station, what would we be talking
Correct.
about? And that's the same thing I'm going to do on television.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think you worry a long time about, does it have to be this particular thing or that particular thing? And it's like, nah, what's entertaining? What's fun? Like last night on TV, I showed Gabriel Landeskog coming back after 1,000 days not playing NHL hockey. Is it relevant to our market? Absolutely not. Is it a great story? Hell yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So let's talk about it.
It's the good stories. It's the interesting things that I think people, that's what they come back for. I get a lot of heat. Well, not a lot. I get a very small amount of heat if I talk about my kids, my family, but for the 3 people that don't like it, 500 do, and they relate, and so that's what you kind of have to remember as well. But man, media is tough, and it's getting tougher. And I get a ton of emails. I get a ton of DMs about, hey, my kid really wants to get into sports media. And where I used to say, oh, do it. It's such a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like, do it. It's fun. It's a blast. It's really hard. It's really, really a hard scene.
I think it's harder than ever now, or easier than ever now, or both. Because like you just said a few minutes ago, anybody with a phone now can be a journalist.
Yeah.
You can have a podcast. You can start a YouTube show, whatever you need to do. But because of all that competition, does that make it harder?
Yeah, I know. It's the age-old question. Dominic here in our chat, one of our favorite tier ones. Now, this is interesting to me. He says out here, he lives in the Baltimore area. The Orioles are so bad. Local sports talk is ignoring them and talking about the draft. I would be talking about the Orioles for 4 hours a day because what's happening to them is super interesting. way more interesting than who the Ravens are going to draft. To me.
Yeah.
To me.
I think your mindset would change in a market like that, though.
Because I would have to talk about the.
I think if we had an NFL, if the Chargers were still here,
but
we
I'm
would
me.
be talking draft.
I'm still me, though. I think I would push back. I think I would still push back when the Padres are who the Padres
I'll tell
are.
you right now, Ben would lose his mind.
He would. Ben and I would fist fight.
You guys would fight each other.
Yeah.
I think too, like the one, like we still have the Chargers on our station. I know I'm going to get ripped in the chat here for even bringing them up, but it is the reality of it. Like the Charger games are still on our air. The NFL is still king. It will always be king, and it's too big to fail. So like, it's one of those things where we can all sit here and act like it's not an important thing and be like, oh, we can ignore the NFL. In all reality, you can't. I mean, it's the thing that a lot of people are talking about. Now, how lucky are we though? That we have a team like the Padres, and I don't need to reiterate this considering everyone in the chat and you guys here know this, but there's something special about this market because how much you can rally around this one team.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
It's been incredible.
Like it is a group, it is a community that goes outside of just a TV station or a radio station. It's a group that fills up Petco Park on a Monday night against the Marlins with 40,000+. Everyone here, and the cool thing about baseball is it is daily.
Yes.
So everybody here kind of lives and dies by it. Everybody here gets to go behind it. And it's so much fun to just have that community outreach together and have that one thing. Whereas at least, and maybe it's a weird thought, but at least it's not divided amongst all these different sports here in San Diego. I enjoy that part of it. If you're going to look at a glass half full,
the glass half full part of that is like, I don't really have to worry. I know I can come in, and I always talk about managers doing things to cover their own ass. I always know if I come in here and talk Padres for 4 hours, my ass is covered.
Yeah.
I'm covered. Like I'm legitimately, the majority of the people are gonna be like, hell yeah, dude. Padres talk for 4 hours, and we've done it. We've done 4-hour shows of nothing but Padres so many times. And you finish it and you go, we literally just did 4 hours on this team in one game.
We
like
blew out, don't do
we
this.
blew out everything. Yeah, like it's pretty crazy how it works. But no, I think about being in Phoenix, and being like, oh, we got all these teams to choose from. What do people want to hear? It's actually, there's part of it that's a little easier here. You kind of know. What's your favorite team? It's Jake Garriani, by the way, joining us from CBS 8 today, hanging out with us. What's your favorite team to cover here? Is it the Pods?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
mean, away. I mean, it's such an interesting team.
It's such a fun team. I think my favorite moments and I've been lucky enough to cover Super Bowls and do a lot of really, really cool stuff. But I think my favorite moments in all of my media career have been Padre moments. Being in the clubhouse with champagne, going crazy, getting to talk to those guys, going to Mexico City to follow that team and in a culture and a community. And again, I think it goes back to what I was just talking about. A lot of it is just rallying behind what everyone else wants to talk about here in San Diego. And so covering them is a lot of fun. I do enjoy covering other sports and the NFL and stuff like that. I was on Marty Caswell's show the other day, though, and I said, sometimes I get a little envious that you do get a lock-in on one team, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes we're spread amongst a bunch of different teams. So it goes back and forth. But I think by far the Padres are my favorite thing to cover in this city. And it's just, again, it goes back to, because it's what everyone wants to talk about. It's what everyone wants to do. It's the hot thing. And it wasn't that way 10 years ago. We all know that. And it's been just a hell of a ride, to be honest.
It has. It's been it's never dull here in San Diego Padre land. It's dull when you get shut out 6-0. You watched the game yesterday. Just kind of it's the first time they got shut out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of the first time I looked at it and going, all right, we got beat. We got beat today. Didn't feel like we beat ourselves necessarily. Just like, no, you're going to get beat in 162 games from time to time. And we got that kid shoved yesterday. He absolutely shoved. Tip your hat to him. And guys will come home, lick their wounds, and be ready to again tee it up with the Tampa Bay Rays tomorrow. Have they announced the starter yet?
They hadn't as of last night.
They're so. I'm Kevin Cash. I do things differently. Like, I get it. Who's it going to be? Which fireballing right hand are they going to throw out there? I still don't even know who they're running out there.
Changed as of last night. They said TBD, and this morning, Shane Baz.
Oh, great!
Pitching against Michael King tomorrow night.
Here's what you get after your first shutout in Detroit. You get Shane Baz. So let's have some fun with him and the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, Michael King, I have the utmost confidence in Michael King. We had him on yesterday. He was brilliant on this show. we could replay it maybe later. I don't know when we would, but we could. It was really good. If you missed it, go back and check it out. Really, really well done. That should be an elite Friday matchup. So
I'll be there. I'll be there tomorrow night.
Oh, you're going tomorrow night?
Yeah,
God,
that's going to be ace versus ace right there.
Jealous. I'm jealous. We'll be back. We'll do Don't Do This next. And I would say if I were a fan, the one guy I would not put my hands on is Tommy Pham. I don't know why people keep doing it, but they do. Got some really funny audio from that. And speaking of the Orioles, boy, they stuck it to their fans in a really, really rough way yesterday. It'll all be made right, but wait till you hear what they did. And, of course, somebody is playing pranks on Logan Webb, and it's so good. We got to play you that audio as well. Coming up next on Don't Do This, Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
All right, Don't Do This brought to you by Trust and Will. Don't leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die. Do set up a trust or will online at trustandwill.com. It's a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. So decimal points matter. They matter in life. If you put a decimal point in the wrong place, it's not going to go well for you, and especially for your customers. If you are in Baltimore, and listen, we were just talking about the Orioles and what's going on with them. It's not going well for the Baltimore Orioles right now. That was Ben's pick to win the World Series. I think we should go back and redraft because all of our picks right now for the World Series have been garbage.
Who did you guys take?
I think I took the Braves.
I took the Red Sox.
And Ben picked the Orioles. And those three teams, you'd know this if you bet on baseball a lot. Like Paulie and I have been betting on for whatever reason, the Red Sox. Every night they lose, like every single night that we bet on them. Makes no sense. Orioles are one of those teams too. MASN is their TV network. $89.99 to watch the Orioles for the rest of the season.
Decent deal.
Decent deal. Price, yeah, decent price.
Fair price.
Fair price. It's a young, up-and-coming team, playoff team. You know, they didn't do a lot in free agency. Whatever. You want to watch your Orioles, you're going to pay that $89.99 for the year. Problem is, all their customers, or a lot of their customers that sign up, they were charged $8,999 for that television network. I'm going to tell you this right now. My bank account ain't handling an $8,999 charge.
That's bouncing back. I make TV money, bro. That is bouncing back 1,000% if that happens.
The overdraft fees. It's just, look, they're good. Here's the thing. It's one of those deals like they're going to make it right. It's it's like you losing your wallet. Like my life's
a lot worse than losing your wallet.
It's like my life sucks for a couple of weeks. I lost my credit cards. I lost my driver's license. This is going to suck.
Update everything.
But it's not terminal cancer. You know what I mean? Like perspective is key. But man,
$9,000 though. That's, you don't even get mad. You just laugh. You're like, good luck finding it.
Oh no, I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad about nine G's, dude. That's more than I got in the whole account.
It ain't coming out of that bank account.
For $9,000. I want Adley Rushman at my house teaching my kid how to switch hit. You know what I mean? Like, hey, my kid loves Adley Rushman. They share the same birthday. He loves him. $9,000, you're at my house giving catching lessons and teaching Bo how to switch hit. That's it for $9,000. That's probably worth it. Anything else? They got their money back. They issued refunds, all of that. But oh my God, such a faux pas for a team that's already in the crosshairs of their fan base right now, which I thought, man, you just got to make sure you're dialed in and stuff like that.
I better be getting the next year of Oriole games for free. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The next couple of years better be coming in free of charge. I just paid you $9,000.
It's one of those things where it's
lifetime lifetime membership.
It's one of those things where like it's clearly a mistake. Okay, I understand, but there's also that thing where you're like, what are you going to do for my inconvenience? There is that thing. Some people have that. I don't really have that, like,
just make it right.
The make it right thing of like, hey man, that sucked, and I got overdrafts, and I had to make calls and clear this up, whatever. What are you gonna do for me?
I suppose it depends what card you had signed up with. Like if you threw the debit card down and then it takes out all the money,
yes,
and
they got to put it back,
right? And you're that's a big inconvenience for a while there that you're working with. So that's a pretty big mess up.
You know, and I think it was recently, like I think Paulie did the story. He was talking about the Pirates, and they ran out of bobbleheads, and then they only
give out 20,000, I think.
Yeah, and they had the demand was more, and they said, you know what, we're gonna make it right.
I mean, the line was like through downtown to
get
in.
Was that the Skeens one?
That was the Skeens Rookie of the Year bobblehead, which I don't even know what it's going for on eBay right now, but tons of people wanted it, and I don't know how many capacity that stadium holds, PNC Park, but it's more than 20,000.
Right.
So people that showed up did not get bobbleheads. They said, look, if you checked in on MLB app or whatever, you have a ticket to the game, you will get a voucher, you will get a bobblehead.
That's good. That's you take care of your fans. I mean, they get so rarely they get a sell out there, people showing up. Take care of those people that came out, even if it's just for a bobblehead. I'm like the one person in San Diego, I think, that I kind of miss Tommy Pham. I do. I kind of miss Tommy Pham. I think I've always defended him. I'm
proud of myself.
He is such a great soundbite.
I'm a very good fighter. You know, I don't do Muay Thai, Kung Fu, and box for no reason.
For me, I look at him. He's like a WWE guy in Major League Baseball. There's so few of those guys in baseball, like Tommy Pham. I always liked him. I always defended him.
He would be just another. That's a great point. He'd be another guy in the NBA.
Yeah, just
like his attitude and everything. It fits more like the NBA, or even the NFL, maybe
WWE.
But he did not fit baseball,
and that's what I love.
That.
I love that about him. So they're playing the Angels last night. He's with Pittsburgh now. Ball gets ripped down into the corner. Tommy Pham goes to get it. Listen to what happened.
It's elongated the pitch count a bit. There's a line drive in the first hit for the Angels. Travis d'Arnaud is on his way to second
ball
base.
Hit in the corner.
There was 13 in a row retired by Heaney. There's a fan that kind of brushed up against Tommy Pham. You see Pham's reaction from the area here.
You don't want to see that contact made with a player. Never.
That game in Houston where that fan ripped the ball out of Mike Trout's glove, and the fan.
Oh boy!
Tommy Pham
Can't do that.
See,
but he
says
just
hello
did.
to the crowd.
Saying hello to the crowd, by the way.
So if you can't see the video, Tommy Pham.
Ball hit in the corner. Tommy Pham reaches to grab the ball, and some fan hits him in his back.
He brushed him with his glove, and it was clearly intentional. He wasn't going for the ball. He saw Tommy Pham, a real life big league baseball player, and takes his glove and runs it down Tommy's back. Tommy kind of turns and is like, "Hey, dude, don't touch me." And which can't we all agree? Don't touch players.
I think that's fair.
Is that a fair statement? So he goes out there and he makes a motion.
A gesture,
if you will. I don't know how to describe it on the radio.
Well, I
don't know that
do
you can.
because it happened to me in Philadelphia, actually, on live television.
Somebody did that to
Similar
you.
gesture where
Stroganoff.
Yeah, Stroganoff would be the best way to describe it. And he aimed it towards the fan that touched him with the glove, and maybe he was just saying,
yeah, it was a salt shaking gesture.
Yeah, exactly.
He was shaking salt.
Yep. Getting the creamer ready for the coffee, if you will, for the morning. And it's completely understandable. Tommy's a very level-headed guy. We all know this. He's not going to overreact. My favorite story, by the way, about Tommy Pham, when the Padres first signed him, we were out in Arizona, and this is our first opportunity to talk to Tommy at all. And we all go out, we get this big scrum of media members, and we all go up to Tommy, and we go, "Hey, welcome to the Padres. What do you think about being here with San Diego?" And he stares directly into your eyes, like terrifying, piercing eyes. And he goes, "Good to be here." And I was like, I thought it was a bit. We got 5 minutes in this interview, and I thought it was a bit.
Was it just you, or is it a
It
scrum?
was me, and it was one other TV station, I think Marty, and I was I've never been so intimidated by any athlete.
Terrifying.
Aside from King Dunlap at the Chargers, but never been so terrified. And we got done with this, what was probably a 30-second interview because he doesn't have long sound bites, right? And I was done. I was like, this man, I'm not interviewing him again. He is absolutely terrifying.
We never spoke to him once. We never interviewed him. Never had him on in spring training.
We tried to get Ben to interview him one-on-one.
Dude, that is must-see TV. We need to set that up.
They'll be back. Pirates will be here soon.
Oh yeah, when is that?
I would like to see that, actually. All right, and then let's get
Almost
to
more than anything.
Let's get to doo-doo.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
Played it for you maybe earlier in the week. Logan Webb, I think it was maybe Monday. Logan Webb was doing his post game, and one of his teammates let out some gas, and now it turns out that this may be a new bit that's going on in the Giants clubhouse because it happened to Logan Webb again, and I think I know what the culprit is.
It's a decent change-up hitting team. And then, yeah. What do you got over there?
What do you got over there?
Again?
Again?
Jesus. I think it's a joke.
It is.
Yo, out of here.
It is a joke.
Get out of here.
Somebody has a fart machine.
That's great.
My
It's
kids,
a great
My
bit.
kids have one.
Yeah.
And it's it still makes me laugh all the time. They carry it around. It's a little button, like the easy button that you push, and it's got 10, 12 different farts in there. And so now I think they're like, hey, let's get Logan every time he does a post-game interview, somebody stands around behind the screen and just hits the button.
Good.
And they're getting them. And it's so good. It made me very happy. So that was Don't and Do This for a Thursday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
And what a brilliant segue. We were just talking about Tommy Pham. And I was thinking about this yesterday when I saw the news of Blake Snell going on the IL. And I thought to myself, bummer for them. He'll be fine. He's going to come back. And I mean, Blake Snell's really good in August, September, October, which is all you need him for if you're the Dodgers. I thought back to the days when I would have to come on, turn this mic on, or go online and defend the Cy Young winning Blake Snell. And I thought to myself, who's the Padres player you find yourself defending the most, or the Padres player that was so exhausting to defend? We can take your calls to 833-288-0973. Call in, say hello to Jay.
10 names rolling through my mind now.
and we can think outside the box. I still see like Joe Musgrove slander. You know what I mean? Which makes me insane. And so who's that one for you guys that you get so frustrated defending? But you're right. You're right defending. So think about that. We will be right back. It's Ben and Woods and Jake from CBS 8 joining us today as well. We'll be right back.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Selected you. We forgot to play the Elton John sounder. So when you hear this.
Yes, this right here. When you hear this next time, not right now.
Not now.
Not now.
That's your cue to call. And you'll win 2 tickets to the Elton John Cure-Bound concert for Cures at Petco Park on May 9th. Proceeds from the show go towards cancer research in San Diego. This will be Elton's only planned U.S. appearance this year. See Ticketmaster.com for more details. So when you hear that later, all you have to do is call 833-288-0973.
Could be during a segment, could be during a commercial break.
That's
you
right.
never know.
That's right. So beautiful, beautiful song, Tiny Dancer. So yeah, when you hear that beautiful piano riff, all you have to do is call. Don't call now. Unless you want to talk Padres with us at 833-288-0973. We got our pal Jake Garriani in from CBS 8. And the defense of, they don't have to be star players. You know, just the defense of players where it's exhausting. And I remember being exhausted when Blake Snell was here. I remember being super exhausted when Juan Soto was here. Baseball fans of any sport, you're irrational. We're irrational. I get super irrational. I'm not, I go nuts sometimes and I'm yelling at the TV, just letting it fly. And I know that's not a rational thing to do. But you're a fanatic. You know, you love this team. You want everybody to perform. But you also, you know, in baseball, it's really hard. It's really hard. I got a text yesterday from a guy that said, this offense sucks, blah, 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 blah. You know, we're terrible. We're going, my favorite. Everyone's trying to play hero ball right now. I'm like, buddy, the way this guy's pitching, these dudes are trying to put it in play. Like, I'm not seeing anybody swinging out of their shoes, really. Like, they're just trying to put it in play. That's been the San Diego Padres way. I just remember when Juan Soto was here, I felt like I had to come in and defend him every day, every single day. You guys get at the TV station, you know, you're pretty active on Twitter. So you'll post something from the clubhouse or whatever. Do you get the same kind of stuff that we get?
Yeah, I mean, I have like 7 followers, which is part of the issue.
That's
so
good.
not about
You're lucky.
So not as much. No, we do get a lot of complaints that I think are completely invalid a lot of time about players. The obvious answer to me for this question feels like Manny Machado.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to be the one that everybody says, but like what this guy has done and what he's always done and the leader he is, I just think people are like, oh, he's a bad leader. Oh, he's not clutch. Oh, he's not this or that. And I'm like,
you hear it all.
What game are you watching?
Yeah.
Like what are you actually watching out there? Are you paying attention?
And he's my favorite player. So I get it more than most. Anytime he doesn't come through with a runner on second, you know, I get tweets directly to me. There's your boy again. I'm like, he's our boy.
This is Manny Machado.
You know, he's our boy, and it does get exhausting defending your favorite players sometimes. And I think
the thing that exhausts me with a guy like Manny in this conversation is that he's here for a very, very long time.
So you could use.
So it's almost like, you're wasting your energy right now.
So it's like that's what you say about Xander Bogaerts too. And Xander,
yeah, it's a tough one for me though.
It's tough. It's really, really tough. As I mentioned earlier,
I still kind of lean back on. I'm not telling you this isn't like the Phillies thing. Like, hey, we need to support and rally around this guy. Let's all give him a standing ovation tomorrow night. It's not like that, but it's more like he's here for what, 8 more years, 9 more years. Xander 9, I think.
Yeah, 11 or 280, right?
I just don't know that anything's going to change, and it's more like, hey, either change your mentality or else you're going to be pretty miserable for the next 9 years.
And you hate to tell people, hey, man, grin and bear it, buddy. This is what you got. And I do.
When you hand out a statute type contract like that, that's kind of your only option.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a lot of choices, but other than to complain. You know what I mean?
Were you guys defending Hosmer?
I did.
Yeah,
you were.
I did. I did. I liked.
Do you still feel like you should have defended him?
No.
So
no.
Is Xander not going to? Who knows? Xander, like you said, like Paulie said, got 8 years left. Is Xander not going to fall into a similar category if he doesn't change what has been true
Xander
so
doesn't
far?
come off as
so I'll tell you,
arrogant.
I learned too much about Eric Hosmer. That's what happened to me. I got too much info, and when I found out the info, I went, oh. Well, F him then. You know what I mean? And so I'm not going to come on here and defend him anymore because I found out kind of the real story, you know? And I said, yeah, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for not wanting to work. You know, when you're getting that much money, there's no excuse for not talking to media, you know, really ever. That to me was like, hey man, I talked to a buddy that's an agent. And they represented Tony Gwynn, and they talked about how guys that come here, you know, need to be proud of the city, and they need to set up some roots here, even if it's in season. Just set up some roots and be a part of the community. And I never felt Eric Hosmer did that. I defended some of his play early on. He's the best April player I've ever seen. I've never seen a player better in April. I would pick him up in fantasy every April. He would dominate, and I dropped him in May. But I loved him when he was with Kansas City. I loved him. I watched that World Series. It was one of my favorite World Series. I thought he was brilliant, a great leader and the whole thing, and was really excited about it. And that starts to taper after a while. Once you kind of learn, like, oh, this guy, he's mailing it in. And when a guy mails it in, that's what I have a problem with. I don't get the sense Xander's mailed it in ever. All I hear about him is that he's an incredibly hard worker. He cares a lot. He's not producing to the level of a guy that makes that much money. And that's unfortunate.
It does become the really hard thing about this job, as I think both of you know, is like you get to know these people in a decent level, as much as you can in the media to a person, right? And you realize some of these guys, like Xander, is an amazing human being. It seems like a phenomenal, really, really good dude. You're pulling for him a ton out there. And then when you see them struggle, it's hard because you have this double-edged sword where it's my job to talk about the facts and what is true and where he's struggling. But it's also like, he's a really good dude, you know? Like, I think about it a lot with Kyle Hart so far this season. I went out to
great one
spring training, and I go up to Kyle and I go, hey, you know, you're new. Can we get an interview? Interview the guy like I've done a million times to a player. And I'm walking away, and he goes, wait, Jake, where are you from? And I was like, wait, where am I from? Nobody's ever, like, a player has never stopped me and asked me about my life. And so Kyle and I have this great conversation. He's this amazing dude, and I want him to do so well. And then there's the other side of the coin where you're like, is this guy really
is this going to work
working out for the Padres? You know, and it does become this tough situation where, you know, the human, you know, the player, and somewhere in between they mesh, and it becomes very tricky.
It's hard. I was watching, my son last night finally asked me to watch that Red Sox doc on Netflix. And I put it on the very first episode, and he was all into it. And they start talking about Brian Bayo and how he's from the Dominican and, signed this big contract. But he missed his wife and kids, and he wasn't playing well because he missed his wife and kids. Wilyer Abreu lost his grandmother in the middle of the season. Couldn't get to her. His wife she couldn't get a visa. And I'm sitting there going, we forget that they're human. We do. I do. We all do. We want production. The other side of that coin is, yeah, man, you make a lot of money. You need to produce, right? Like it can't be you miss your grandma for 162 games a year. Like, right? Like there has to be some sort of fine line there. And it's the hardest part of this gig is balancing that without just blind love for all of them, because I know how hard that is. It's a very difficult game, frustrating. You see the best players dying. Shohei Ohtani right now, dying at the plate. Has no idea what he's doing. Yeah. Zero. I was texting with a Dodger fan buddy last night. I go, this dude looks like he's never played before these last few ABs. And he goes, I'm terrified of this because guess what? Guess what just happened to Shohei? He just had a new baby. And guess what? He was back on a plane the next day, and they put out in their statement, we are nervous parents. And I found myself with a shred of sympathy going, that's got to suck. That's got to suck for these guys. I hate that I'm human like that. I want to be, do I need to be the New York guy? This guy's a bum. Get him out of here. I also can't be overreactionary knowing it's such a long season, knowing that you're going to need production from all of those guys that you've had to defend. What I hate is this. Manny comes through with a big knock. You're like, yeah, see, sucker. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I can't do the,
where you at now?
Where you at now? Like that stuff for me, when they do dumb things, as they do, because they're human, they deserve to be called out. Fernando Tatis Jr. stealing third base yesterday made me want to die. I wanted to die. I kicked the table. There is no reason for that kid to steal third base there. He's in scoring position. It's the first inning. I love the aggressiveness of this team. That's just dumb. That's not even aggressive. That's just dumb. There's no reason for you to do it. I saw it in the Cubs game last night.
I go back and forth with that one because I never want Fernando to feel like he's got the shackles on.
Don't turn it off.
Just be yourself.
No.
And if we have to have one out of every 10 aggressive moves like that comes back to bite us, fine.
That's not
early in the first.
That's not aggressive. If you get thrown out going first to third on a
if he
knock,
makes it, then it's great.
That's aggressive.
But if he makes it, then it's aggressive, and it was awesome.
The risk reward makes no sense to me.
I'm not arguing with you. I agree.
The risk reward might not make sense, but it's hard for you to tell a player to turn that off. That's the same reason the dude's tagging up on a fly ball to shallow.
I get it.
Right.
I totally get it.
It's the same reason he's taking third where it doesn't make any sense.
I totally understand, but it's those are the ones where I go, all right, I love you. You're like he's leading in every offensive category. He's carrying this team, carrying us.
I think
I looked at it and I went, you got to be better. You got to be better than that. He knows that.
I think when you ask your question going into this segment, who's the toughest Padre that you've had to defend? For me, it really always started and ended with Juan Soto.
Yeah, that was the one.
I could not. It got to a point where I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Every morning we were talking about why he is good for this team.
Right.
And I understand they missed the playoffs one of the 2 years that he was here. He's pretty clutch in the 1 year that they did make the playoffs. One guy can't carry a team to a playoff appearance. You just can't do it. And personally, I like it when first ballot Hall of Famers are on my team in their prime. I got so tired of defending and arguing for Juan Soto. We do have some callers coming in.
Let's get them. Yeah, let's get them.
We got to go to traffic real quick.
All right, check traffic.
If you have anything that you'd like to add to the conversation, 833-288-0973. We'll take some calls right after traffic.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This report is brought to you by local and veteran-owned Kearney Mesa Volkswagen. Well, guys, what we got going on the freeways is nothing you haven't seen before, just a lot of that usual slowing in the usual spots. Incident accident-free at this time. Spring savings are on at Kearney Mesa Volkswagen, your veteran-owned local dealership in San Diego. Get a 2025 Jetta Sport for just $249 a month or 2025 Taos SE for $259 a month, tariff-free. For more details about these specials, go to KearneyMesaVolkswagen.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, go ahead, Paulie. Grab some.
All right, let's go to I have not screened this. Is this Scott calling in?
Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning,
Hey,
Scott.
Robert Suarez.
Oh, yes. Great one. It's a great one.
I mean, he had 6 blown saves last year. In off season, people were going off on him. Oh, we need a new closer and all this. I'm like, guys, he had a bump last year, yeah, but he's nails. And look at this year. I mean, I was so sick of defending him last year.
Doesn't it get exhausting? It does. It gets exhausting, and we do it. That's a great answer, man. Thank you for the call, Scott. That's a brilliant one. Jake actually said that going in before we came back on the air. Yeah, he was doing that thing where he threw like 150 straight fastballs. I was at the game where he gave up the grand slam. I was like, oh my God, this is the worst. And then the offseason came around. For me, I didn't want to get rid of him, but he was a tradable asset. He was a tradable asset that cost a little bit of money. So
that's a recent current player that we've had to defend. Luis Arraez, I think,
Luis
falls into that
Arraez.
conversation.
Oh, I go back and forth about Luis Arraez all the time. You know, listen, love who you love, hate who you hate. It's fine. I mean, there are people that have made a lot of concessions for some players here over the years, and that's okay. I never understood the Will Myers love personally, and many people give it to him. That's fine. That is absolutely on you.
That's like the opposite, because I never found myself defending Will Myers.
Same, never.
In fact, I was probably the guy that
Never
I'm
once.
arguing with about guys like Soto. That was me with Will Myers. I'm like, what?
I know.
What am I not seeing here? What am I missing?
Same.
I don't understand it.
Great dude. You know, whatever. Great
Didn't
guy.
take himself too serious.
Did not take himself too seriously.
This was a job for Will.
It's a gig. It's just a gig. It's exactly right.
9 to 5.
9 to 5. Put in a little BP, go get a little work, and maybe run. But when he got hot, there was a few guys that were more fun to watch than Will Myers when he was locked in on a hot streak. Very much like Manny Machado. When he's hot and locked in, it's such a thing of beauty to watch. That Oppo gap, I could watch it all day. It's like it's like watching Picasso, dude. It's just bam, bam, bam. And Will, when he would get on those streaks, those 2-week streaks, oh my God. There are people in this fan base still defend Austin Hedges. So I don't know.
Dude can frame.
Dude
can frame, man.
Elite framer. Elite clubhouse guy, apparently. Listen, I like this topic. We do need to take a break. We'll come back. We'll reset the show here in a minute. We still have the great Eno Saris. You want to talk some smart baseball with Eno? I absolutely can't wait to talk to Eno. He's been up to a lot of great work lately. Probably going to ask him about the Dodgers pitching lab. I feel like I ask him about it once a year, and I feel like the national media continues to defend what's going on in LA, but I think there's a serious problem there right now, much to our delight. I think as Padres fans, but we'll talk to Eno Saris. Sammy Levitt will join us as well. We'll be right back. It's Ben and Woods and Jake on 97.3 The Fan. All right, my friends, we are halfway home on a Thursday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. We are without Benny. He is in Henderson. He's about to tee it up in a member guest golf tournament, which is basically his dream, to go out and play some golf for 54 holes the next couple of days. He's elated. We haven't even heard from him. He's just focused, locked in on his tourney. Oh yeah, that's right. You heard from him. Jake Ariani from CBS8 joins us as well. Paulie Reindl, of course. We'll have a Reindl report coming up for you later in the program. You're still listening for the Elton John sounder. We got Sammy Levitt coming on, and we got Eno Saris coming up at 8:35. Oh, we have a very special edition of Real or Fake that we are going to play today in honor of Ben's trip to Nevada.
That'll be in our next segment.
That will be in our next segment. So you get to play along. I wrote it, so you get to be the one that helps the audience, Jake, when they call in.
I love that.
And I have a feeling you'll be very helpful at this.
Ooh,
and I don't know if that's a good thing. Well, Jake was bummed because we're not playing Take on Woods today. We play that on Thursday. And you're a music head like me.
Love me some music. Yeah, big music guy. Got about 400 or 500 albums on vinyl.
The vinyl guy.
My wife and I are huge concert goers.
Yep.
So yeah, massive music fan. Although I did think I told you this off air that I think I would have gotten absolutely cooked in Take on Woods. I don't have the recall like you, and I'm just not that smart. So those two things combined make it a little tricky for me to be able to do that. But the love for music is definitely there.
So you're a vinyl guy too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many albums I have. I thought about this. It's weird you bring this up. I thought about it yesterday. Sitting at my desk and doing some notes for the show, doing a little prep. And I've got a record player next to me. That's kind of a crappy one, but it's there for my office. I've got my good one off in the other room. And that is kind of more of a listening station, where I put a record on, I sit on the couch, and I can listen. Oftentimes, I'm throwing grounders to my kids, and we listen to a record. It's gotten to the point, though, now where I look around, and I'm surrounded by records, and I haven't listened to 80% of them. And I thought to myself, wow, what are you doing? And my wife gets nuts because, when you get an album delivered, now I go to, my favorite place is Lou's. I go to Lou's all the time. I buy records locally. I support my favorite artists by buying their albums. I know these guys aren't making the money they used to.
Mm-hmm.
I can certainly relate, being in radio. But I'm buying these records, and I'm ordering stuff online too, and they get shipped to my house. I'm like, all right, cool. And I just throw it on the pile. And I go, what are you doing? Why are, like, I feel like now I'm becoming more of like a hoarder / collector than an actual music listener. And that bugs me as I'm sitting at my desk, listening to my iPhone on Spotify, right next to a record player, surrounded by 25 new records. I haven't even broken the seal on.
They do make it harder this day and age because you can just get music instantly, right? That's the beauty of Spotify and YouTube and all that stuff.
Yep.
But the reason you do it, I don't want to speak for you, but the reason I do it, and I think the reason a lot of people do it, is like, you're listening to music the way it was designed to be listened to by the artist, right? So track listing, all this stuff, all of that.
I love the artwork. Yeah.
The artwork. You sit down, and the other key thing I think about it is, like, when you put a record on, it's because you want to listen to music. You're allowing your body to go, look, my focus is the music, not the other 50 things going on in life, not the other stuff that's happening. I'm going to drop this needle, and I'm going to lose myself for 32 minutes in art, in music, in the love for it. And sometimes is it harder to do it with albums, I guess, but it's like the second you do it, I almost guarantee it every time, Woodsy, the second you put it down, you're like, oh yeah. That's right.
For me, I'm a little bit new still to vinyl. Got a record player. Woodsy got it for Christmas for me a couple of years ago now.
Crosley in a suitcase?
Well, yeah. So you said you had 400 or 500 records?
Somewhere between.
I've got about 40 or 50. And
I'm probably in between those. I'm probably 300.
Yeah. And I'm still adding to it and still building that collection up. I look at it as I go, oh, I love this album. I want it in my collection. Or maybe it's a smaller artist. I'm like, hey, I want to support this artist a little bit more than just my $9.99 to Apple Music every month or whatever. But I still find myself as a new to vinyl type person, put the record down, go sit down, start listening. And it's like, I'm like 5 minutes later, it feels like, that I get up, walk over, flip it, start it again.
It's not the 70s where everyone's coming over and we're smoking a joint and laying on my floor listening to the new Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd. It's not. I wish it were. I would like to have neighborhood listening parties. Nobody's going to be into it. Nobody's gonna want to do it,
dude. You come up to my house this weekend. I'll pour you a glass of whiskey. We'll put a little vinyl on. I mean, the rest of it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, you can still do that. That's the beauty of it.
You know, I know I can. I just don't now. And I'm now, but you know what I'm doing is I'm still buying a ton of records. And I'm like, now I've turned into record hoarder. I'm happy just to have it. Like, again, I have, Record Store Day. They do a special day.
Dude, I waited in line for like an hour and a half this time.
Recently, or is it?
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
So there were 4 titles I wanted there. I couldn't go down at 6 a.m. I had 2 Little League games to coach. So what I do is I wait till the hubbub passes, go down to Lou's, start thumbing through. Everything I want is gone. Everything. So then I go to eBay and I pay double for the records, the titles that I had to have. Well, they've all been shipped to my house this week. I haven't listed one of them. And I'm like, all right, man, I need to like either thin my collection or carve out more time to like I feel like I'm just collecting records and I'm not listening to them. It's very strange.
You have to stop buying them online, I think, is the key. When you go down to the record store, like I don't know, Cal Records or M3.
I go to Lou's, yeah.
Lou's, you go down there and
they're still in a pile, dude. I went last week. They're still in a pile.
I'll fix this problem. We got to hang out a little more. I will have this problem solved in no time.
One thing I love about it is there are plenty of albums where I know, front to back, I know every song.
Yeah.
I know I love this album. There are a lot of other bands or artists where I am familiar with 4 or 5 songs, probably the singles, and I like them. Then you buy the record and you're listening to the track 9 or something that you haven't heard. It didn't pop up on your Spotify or Apple Music algorithm. You didn't hear it on the radio, and you're like, well, that's a banger. That is a great song.
Honestly, for me, I think if my kids ever got into it, I think it would change the entire complexion of the whole thing. And I've let them pick records for them. We put it on when we take grounders in the house and take batting
grounders
practice.
in the house.
Yeah, we do grounders in the house.
You kind of just breeze by that. I don't know if that's a known thing. You typically, how do you?
So we've got
do explain.
We have a dining room that when we moved in, my wife said, I want to get a big table. I go, we're not getting a big table. We don't ever have anyone over. No one's ever been in our home. And I said, you don't cook. I don't cook. I make spaghetti. I make meatloaf and steak. That's it. So we're not going to be having formal dinners here. Let's make this kind of a play area for the kids. So both my kids love baseball. We have a round thing I sit on and I roll them grounders and they field grounders and throw back to me. They were hitting for a time in the house, soft little baseballs with the Padres foam bat. They broke 4 lights on the chandelier. Yep. We just ripped the chandelier out. We put a ceiling fan in and now there's a fan there. So no harm, no foul. But they're getting too good to hit in the house. So they can no longer hit, but I do grounders to them every night. So I let them pick a record. But if they ever came to me and were like, Dad, let's listen to some music, that's when I think we start getting into it. But for now, I feel like I'm just collecting. I really do. I feel like I'm just collecting and not enjoying. I need to get back to it.
Do you need to go? Are you quantity over quality right now?
No,
and maybe you need to switch it.
No, it's It's like the quality stuff that I want. It's the ones
quality
I'll go
and
out.
quantity.
It's quality and just a lot of it.
It's an effort thing. He's just not putting in the effort. Paul.
I'm not.
He's really kind of mailing it in these days, and
story of my life. Dude.
And I'm getting a little tired of defending you, to be honest.
I'm your Luis Ariz.
You're my Robert Suarez of this situation.
I get turned off a lot by the prices of vinyls.
Buy a record store day vinyl that there were only 300 made. And the guy's like,
I'm not even there yet.
I'm going to jack this up 75%,
I'm not even to that point yet. It's just, Paramore comes out with a new album. Like, I would like to buy that. I'd like to support them. $49.99. I'm like, I'm already paying a monthly fee for Apple Music where I could just listen to it right then and there.
It's tough, but I do love having I think I just love collecting it. I think I just like it's like I'm like a hoarder. There's a little bit
KG says being a collector gets expensive quickly.
It does.
And that's not just with records. That's with anything.
With anything. Captain, I can't say his name. Captain Holy F. No one out of the family has ever stepped foot in the Woods crib. Not Ben, not Paulie. Wow. No.
We're changing. I was in there for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Ben walked to the front door once. We don't do dinner parties. We have a lot of the neighborhood kids and stuff come over. But we don't really have people over.
If this isn't enough to already frustrate Ben that I'm sitting here today and it's just, let's do this dinner party. I'll go over. We'll listen to some vinyl at your house.
I'm down.
And then Ben will just really feel like,
me,
you,
Darnay, Julie, and Paulie, dude, my house.
All the media guys over.
Dinner and vinyl.
And just don't invite them. Like, let's just bring in pictures the next day. Just not let them know. and show him what's up.
I
And
love it.
He'll have a great time.
I love it. No, I love how much you love music too, man. It's I listen to music 17 hours a day. I mean, I'm always listening, but can't lug that record player around with you everywhere you go. So I'm listening on my Spotify. They do make great gifts for sure. Every year I ask my wife, what do you want for Christmas? Like, Lou's gift card. As much as you want to give me Lou's gift card, that's what I want. She's like, oh God, more records in this house. That, by the way, you don't listen to, that you're just stacking right now.
Just got to spin them, baby.
Got to spin them. That's it.
Spin them.
Spin the black circle, as they say. Ben Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Coming up next, we will play Real or Fake. Very special edition, as Ben is in Nevada. All right, let that sink in. We will play next, and Jake will actually be able to help you. 833-288-0973. And this is to qualify, Paulie?
Yes.
Okay, this will
monthly grand prize trip to Vegas.
Pretty simple, guys. All you have to do is guess real or fake, beat or tie. No, actually, you just got to get 4 out of 7. You'll qualify for a chance to win our grand prize, 2 tickets to either Disturbed, Ghost, or Pantera. I don't have any records from any of those 3 bands.
No Disturbed, huh?
No Disturbed.
Can you do the...
We did a whole bit on
We
this.
kind of just crushed that, by
We
the way,
did.
guys.
2-night stay at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, $150 gift card. Get tickets for all 3 shows now at Ticketmaster.com. We'll be right back. Ben Woods, 97.3 The Fan.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place. Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer.
Welcome back, Ben and Woods 97.3. The Fan. Got our pal Jake Ariani from CBS 8 hanging out with us today. That's what we do when Ben's gone. We bring in his competition. I'm sure he loves it. He is not. That's maybe why he's not texting us at all.
He's very mad at us.
Because he's upset. But I doubt it. Ben's a very, very cool guy. You know this.
Yeah.
Working with him, working against him.
How long have you been working in the market?
I've been here for 9.5 years, but I've only been on TV for like 5, maybe.
Okay.
And of those 5, none of them have been good years. Like, my lack of talent shows all the time.
I feel that. I feel the same way. Yeah.
No. Ben is about as chill as it comes to work with. I think people more disappointed right now might be your listeners. That's who I'm really, you know what I mean? Like, the chat is probably ripping me right now.
No, the chat's been very kind. Chat's been very kind. We've had a lot of kind thoughts in here. I was telling my trainer about this the other day. I went to see him and we were working out, and he's like, "Man, you guys get some gnarly comments from time to time." I go, "Do you had no idea?" I go, "So with what you do, you're a full-time trainer of human bodies." And I said, "Imagine you're training somebody, but while you're training someone, there's somebody else standing next to you going, 'You suck, dude. You're no talent, ass clown, loser. You're a putz. Your wife sucks. Your kids, nobody cares about your kids. You suck." And I go,
was that my self-conscious?
I go, that's literally my job every single day.
Yeah.
And he goes, "I don't know how you do it." And I go, "Some days I can, some days I can't. Some days I have a hard time with it." But he's like, "That is crazy." He goes, "Man, people are just mad these days." I go, they are. And that's what I try to, feel empathy. Yeah. And I'm like, yes, you're hurting. And so there's something amiss.
Early in TV, it used to bug me. I'd get a bunch of hate mail, and you go, "Oh, what should I do different? What should I change about myself?" And then you kind of get to this point where you realize people only understand things within their realm of perception.
Right.
And you're like, why am I even wasting my effort, to take this in? And once you kind of get over that hurdle, you feel pretty powerful in a sense of like, you're not going to hurt me anymore.
Yeah,
you know
no
what I
question.
mean?
No question about it. There's no question. And it takes a while to get down that road sometimes, but we got to get to real or fake. I think you guys are going to enjoy this one very much.
Some are here for the compelling sports talk with Ben and Woods. Yeah, you can go plow through another donut. It's time for Real or Fake on 97.3 The Fan. Tell the people what they'll win today.
Hey, real quick, just because it was on the topic here. Jake, if you're feeling any self-conscious about your performance today, Cheek Spreader in the chat says this guy's too handsome for radio. I agree. You are too.
Was my first love because I clearly have a face for it, which I know.
Cheek Spreader?
Yeah, we're going to gloss over that fact. Radio was my first. Cheek Spreaders. So that is how, you know what? You got to build your confidence with the Cheek Spreaders. That is how I build confidence. Cheek Spreaders.
Yeah, man, you take those compliments where you can get them.
Especially from Cheek Spreaders.
That is.
Cheek Spreaders. I love you.
That was very nice. Very nice comment. No, he is very handsome.
He's the cheeks.
Hope my missus isn't watching. I think yours was earlier, Paulie, in the chat.
She's already texted me. I love Jake.
It's the toupee. That's what
it's the beard. You get a good beard. I can't get a good beard.
He lives in the mountains.
I know.
He's a man.
He's a man.
Real
He's a
man.
man. I bet you know how to change your windshield wipers, don't you? No problem.
Wait, you know what's hilarious about this? This past weekend, my wife walks out, and we have an F-150 in a motorcycle and a VW bus, and she's got like a Kia, and she goes, "I'm going to show you how much of a self starter I am. I'm going to go change the windshield wipers on our Kia." And I was like, "All right, sick," because I don't know how to do it.
You don't know how to do it?
I think it's like 2 clicks, but I imagine it's possible.
I tried.
I do know how to put out a candle, though.
Yes, you got to snuff it out.
Oh no, I'd blow it out.
Paulie, who is on the line for us?
We've got Daniel calling in this morning for Real or Fake. Daniel, you still there?
Yep.
All right, Daniel, you know how the game works?
Yeah.
It's very simple. Now, so Ben is out in the Las Vegas area. Don't know if he'll be patronizing any gentlemen's clubs, but he has in the past, as we took him to his first one last year.
For it.
So this is pretty simple. This is real or fake gentlemen's clubs in the Las Vegas surrounding area. Daniel, how do you feel about that category? You ready to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's one of those things. If you win, you're like, oh God, I just won.
Yeah.
And if you lose, you're like, see, babe, I
Sometimes when you win, you really lose.
Sometimes when you win, you
Sometimes
really
when
lose.
You lose, you really win.
And Jake will be able to help you. Jake,
Yeah,
I don't know
ask for some help.
I don't know how experienced you will be in this, but Paulie, let's get it started right now. All right, I'm gonna give you the very first one. The Bada Bing. Is that a real or fake?
Bada Bing?
The Bada Bing. Is that a real or fake establishment in the Las Vegas area, Daniel?
I'm gonna go fake.
You are right. That is the Gentleman's Club from The Sopranos. You may remember. All right, here we go. All you have to do is guess real or fake. Okay, 1 for 1. Peppermint Hippo. Real or fake? And again, you can ask Jake for help if you need it. The Peppermint Hippo.
Real.
That's an interesting name.
It's like the Spearmint Rhino, but different. Spearmint Rhino is a real one. So I've heard. I've driven past it. All right, you ready?
Peppermint Hippo.
You're 2 for 2 here. Chica Bonitas. Real or fake?
I'll check with Jake on this one.
It sounds fake to me. It sounds a little like a plug.
Okay. Is that your guess?
Okay,
You're going to go with fake?
Yeah, I'll go fake.
No, it's absolutely real. Chica
dang
Bonitas
it.
in the Las Vegas area. Highly rated, by the way.
What is it?
Highly
5
rated.
stars?
Yeah, well, highly well reviewed.
Ah.
It's like a $5 cover and a bucket of Coronas or something for a very reasonable price. So.
Cheers, mates.
you got plenty of time here, though. You ready for this? The honey pot. Real or fake?
Fake.
Yeah, I made that up. Probably not surprised. All right, and here we go. Let's go with Cherry Girls.
We got 3 right so far?
Yeah, he's got 3. He just
All right,
needs one more. Cherry Girls.
Cherry Girls. I'll go real.
Bro, you're way too good at this. Daniel, you have one real or fake. Now, Jake, you can play along with me. Real or fake, Little Darlings.
Daniel, hang on the line.
Hang on the line, Daniel.
I like the only one that he got wrong was the one I
Yes, exactly.
Little Darlings.
Little Darlings
is fake.
No, it's absolutely real.
I get. Yeah. See, I don't feel horrible about knowing this.
That's
but Let's
good.
keep them coming. What do you got?
And then the very last one, the Boob Factory.
Bro, if this is real, I'm out of here. If this is real, I'm out of here. It's fake,
Booter
right?
Research. Yeah, it's fake. And the
Okay, I was about to walk about this building.
I'm not saying it shouldn't be a place,
The
but
Boob Factory.
there was a place in Dallas called the Bomb Factory that was a musical venue, and I just thought, oh yeah, bombs with boobs. So well done, Daniel. Hang on the line, and he's now qualified for that trip to Vegas. It's the grand prize, 2 tickets to either Disturbed, Ghost, or Pantera, and you'll get a 2-night stay at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, a $150 gift card, and you can get tickets for all 3 of those shows, Disturbed, Ghost, or Pantera, at Ticketmaster.com right now. But hopefully he qualifies.
Stay on the line, Daniel. I'll get you information when we go to break.
Again, gets to go to Las Vegas where he could frequent Chica Bonitas if he is so interested.
But not the Boob Factory.
Not the Boob Factory.
Benjamin
does
will not
exist.
be at the Boob Factory tonight.
He won't. He could. Out of those 4, Peppermint Hippo, Little Darlings, Cherry Girls, and Chica Bonitas, which one is he likely to go to? I'm going to go with Cherry Girls.
I'm going Peppermint.
Peppermint?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
Peppermint
Cherry
Hippo.
Girls,
Cherry
yeah.
Girls feels very bad. All right, we need to shift gears now. We need to get smart because we got the great Eno Saris, who's going to join us next, talking a little smart baseball with our pal from The Athletic. Nobody does it better than Eno. That's coming up next right here on Ben and Woods.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Always one of our favorite segments of the week when we get to be joined by our pal Eno Saris from The Athletic. We will get to Eno right after we check traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Oh, good. It looks like they cleared that crash on westbound King Freeway before the 5, so speed's looking a little better heading into downtown. Westbound 8 at the 805, crashed over the right shoulder, and we still have this accident northbound 805 before Imperial. It's over to the right shoulder. Got a couple of problems in the North County now. Southbound 15 past Via Rancho Parkway. Looks like there is a truck or pickup truck trying to secure some lumber in the fast lane. That's southbound 15 just past Via Rancho. Take it extra carefully there. And we still have this accident south 15 past Carroll Canyon, blocking the HOV lane. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's time for the super polished, yet to be named Smart Baseball Weekly segment with Eno Saris, son of a bitch. Brought to you by 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from the ballpark, by the bay in Chula Vista. Here's Eno Saris with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Eno, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Doing okay.
just okay.
Yes.
One of those mornings?
When I called him, I said, "Hey, you know how you doing?" I just heard.
We don't wake you up, do we?
No, I went to a show on a weeknight.
Oh yes,
You're talking to the right show.
You're talking to the right show. What show did you go to?
I saw Fish last night.
Oh no, bro! You could have canceled. I would have understood. We could have taped this thing yesterday, man. There's nothing. All right, next time moving forward, you got to understand. We're a very sympathetic show to things like that. Also, Ben is out today. He's in Vegas. We've got Jake Ariani. Jake's a TV guy here, does sports on TV. When you said fish, he raised his hands. He was so excited. You're a big fish guy.
Well, no, but here's what's funny. See, I like the Grateful Dead a lot. In fact, I just got a tattoo done of an alien abducting the Grateful Dead bear on my calf. So he said he sure did. Wow. So I just am here to represent the concert-going lovers and the people that go out on weekdays to really put it in. So that's awesome of you.
That's incredible. Where'd they play?
The small 8,000 person venue up here, Bill Graham Civic Center.
So what, 6-7 hour show like they usually put on?
Yeah.
Only 2 songs.
Yeah, 2 songs, 6 hours. Oh man, I'm so happy. Look, like you're such a sweet guy for calling in this morning. I really appreciate it. Well,
I got work to do. My ranks come out tomorrow.
Your ranks come out tomorrow. We've got arm slots to talk about. Hey, I got to say, man, a couple weeks ago we had Eno on, and we're talking about the latest craze in baseball, the torpedo bat, and the New York Yankees just hitting massive home runs, and Anthony Volpe and Jazz Chisholm. Those guys aren't hitting at all now anymore, and Paul just got himself a torpedo bat. So did Paul waste his money?
Don't break my heart, I got a game on Sunday. I'm expecting 2 nukes.
Like Volpe and Jazz are 2 of the worst hitters in baseball right now. I'm like, what has happened?
Dude, you're on your way to the majors.
Good to know at 34 years old.
What the hell has happened, in the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when you're mucking around with where the sweet spot is on the bat, maybe you're broadcasting to other teams where you like to be pitched.
Yeah.
Maybe there's an adjustment back where they say, if you're not good off the end of the bat, I'm going to put you all the way, and you won't be able to do anything about it. So, I don't know. It happens like when a pitcher sometimes will like manipulate where he stands on the rubber. Like he's on this side for lefties, on that side for righties. I think it also kind of broadcasts what their plan is in terms of pitching you, because they're manipulating it to create a certain angle. So you can kind of be like, oh, that guy's just trying to pitch me inside because he's standing over there on the side of the rubber. He's trying to pitch right at me,
It's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts.
Anything you do in the game, like there's a reaction to it.
Yeah, almost immediately, and it seems to be working right now. I have not listened to the latest rates and barrels that you did with Trevor May, but I love Trevor May. His insight is beyond spectacular. He told, in my opinion, one of the funniest stories I've ever heard in my whole life is when he went to Oakland to finish up his career. He's like, they wanted me to run. And I looked at them and I said, I don't run. I'm a pitcher. And they said, no, here in Oakland, you run. And he goes, I don't run. And he goes, I'm not lazy. I'll work my ass off, but I don't run. It's never been good for me. It hurts my knees. It hurts my back. It's not good for me. You need to run here. I'm not running. And they had this big fight about like a pitcher after a certain time in the big leagues. They know their body. They know their routine. Certain pitchers can be trusted to know what works best for them. I watched a little documentary about Paul Skeens. His pre-playing catch routine is 2.5 hours long. He does it every day, which is absolutely insane, but it works for him. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah. He was not very kind to the coaching staff in Oakland.
On rates and barrels, so I can hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent. I'll be checking that out today.
Sees through when he's talking about, like today we're going to talk about what makes a good pitching coach, and that'll be informed by his time there.
That's incredible. Well, one thing you guys did talk about, and I've been seeing a lot of this too, is obviously the health of arms in the major leagues has been beyond a hot button topic the last few years. And there's certain teams, LA Dodgers, these guys get hurt a lot. I know we've talked about it before. And Trevor, were you guys talking about the lower arm slot may be healthier for pitchers? Is it young pitchers? Is it because you're not going to go in and ask, Nick Pivetta tomorrow, hey, you might want to lower your arm slot because you're pitching really well, but we want to keep you healthy. Like, how does that work as far as the lower arm slot goes? Is it for development of guys when they're younger?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a thing just yet, but we've seen the average arm slot in major leagues shift downwards over the last 3 years. that's all that we have data for is the last 3 years. So that's kind of interesting. And usually what happens is, once you can measure something and really dial it in, then you can start to study it, and then you can start saying what's good or bad. And I don't know this for sure, but I read a couple studies that said that the lower arm slots are a little bit healthier and you can retain your stuff. And I know that publicly we know about approach angle. And so it could be better to lower your arm slot, to lower your release point, to get a flatter approach angle at the plate. So there's a couple different reasons why people might be lowering their arm slots. See somebody like Paul Skeens lower his arm slot, you kind of take notice. So we looked, and we also looked at the people who had lowered their arm slots, and they'd all mostly kept their stuff or had better stuff after they lowered them. So I think that this is a thing. It's, you never know. You're kind of like reading the tea leaves a little bit, but I think that, people are lowering their arm slots to be healthier.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's not the natural motion of the arm to go straight over the top. And I never played anywhere close to the highest level, and I can barely bench press, because my shoulder's just jacked from throwing from all these years. And I got little kids, they love the game, and I'm like, they want to pitch. Do I teach them this now to maybe save them down the road? So definitely will be an interesting study to follow. Let's talk. We're joined by Eno Saris.
I actually, real quickly.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I coach my kids, and I think this is important. Like, there used to be this whole thing, like, get on top of the ball.
Yes.
Was a thing that you told kids, and it makes sense because you're trying to spin the four seamer, and that's all great. But like, I think just having them pick it up and like doing a natural motion, and without you telling them to stay on top of the ball, you'll start to see that the arm kind of goes straight out from the shoulder.
Yeah.
And that the only way to get on top of the ball, quote unquote, is to bend your spine. So now you're like pulling your head down and bending your spine and trying to get your arm up high. And that's totally how a lot of kids pitch. And it's not great. I don't think that's great for you.
No, it's good advice. And I know there's a lot of dads out there too. And I know there's a lot of conflicting theories about all this. And like you said, there's not a ton of research done on it right now, but let's talk a little bit. I mean, what do you see? I know, listen, we like to take shots at the mighty Dodgers when we can, but this has been crazy with the amount of pitching injuries they racked up. You saw last night, two of the most entertaining baseball games I've ever seen, Cubs Dodgers. But you're watching Dave Roberts and Andrew Friedman in April rolling out a bullpen game, which is pretty surprising after the offseason that they had.
Yeah, they seem to have like 10 pitchers going into the season, and by September, they're wondering who's going to start game 2 of their playoffs.
Right. Is it organizational? I mean, every team's got injuries. Ours just happen to be all position players right now, but every team's got pitchers going down. And, we've already lost some big names this year from Major League Baseball, which is such a bummer to see. But that organization, is there something? Are you hearing anything? Are people talking now saying there's something amiss here? Or is it the guys that they've signed? I mean, you knew Glasnow was going to get hurt. He's always gotten hurt. Are they taking risks on guys that have really good stuff, but they're probably going to get hurt at some point?
Yeah, I was actually talking to some pitchers, some major league pitchers, just about this thing last night, yesterday in the clubhouse. And one thing that we were talking about was like, this is the Rays mentality that the Dodgers are doing, which is, we can acquire pitchers easier if they have an injury risk, so they're cheaper for us.
Yeah.
And the injured list is unlimited. So it's a way to have more players than other teams, is just have a bunch of injured players, guys going on and off the IL. And then I think that both the Rays and Dodgers really augment, they're kind of like stuff plus type organizations where they're going to push the needle on every pitch that the pitcher throws, and try to get it to be the best pitch it can be by science. And I myself, I don't want to blame Stuff Plus, and I don't think it's all on Stuff Plus. I think it's about throwing harder and maxing out and all this stuff. But maybe there is an aspect where it's like, one thing that Stuff Plus says is like hard breaking balls are great. You saw Ben Kasparius throwing, really hard breaking balls yesterday. And there is some evidence that, the hardest breaking balls are tough on your elbow. So It's a lot of different things. And when you see something like this happen over and over again, you know that they're thinking about it. They don't necessarily prefer it,
Yeah, of
they would
course.
rather have healthy pitchers, So that's the way I would diagnose it. And I don't know that there's a real solution for them, unless they sort of try to cultivate a separate type of pitcher that's not maxed out stuff wise, but may stay healthier.
That's the Alec Jacobs of the world, right? You mentioned
seriously, is Tim Hill going to get hurt?
Yeah. Right. I brought up Adam Simber in the break about a guy, some of these submarine guys that throw like that. But, you mentioned a little bit earlier that you were going to write about what makes a great pitching coach. And obviously here in San Diego, we're so lucky to have one of the best in the game in Ruben Niebla. I'm curious to know your thoughts on what makes Ruben so good, because a lot of Padre fans get curious about it when you see a Nick Pivetta come out who's been okay over his career, but never had a 1.2 ERA like this. And you see a lot of the guys that Ruben has worked with just dominate from the bullpen to the starting rotation. What is it, in your opinion, that makes Ruben so good at what he does?
Yeah, I think the perfect coach, does two things really well. And one is the sort of old school relating to people, listening to people, being, curious and also relatable. Just being a guy that people like.
Yeah, a good guy.
I think that, being a good guy. I think that's actually a big part of coaching. And then the other part is just knowledge base. And he brings with him, years of working with Cleveland pitchers and their style. And he merges that pretty well with the Padres style. I think he's not exactly the same guy he's always been. So he's always trying to learn and add to this knowledge base, which is just incredible, and everyone loves him. That's why he's a great coach. I mean, it's not rocket science.
It feels a little bit out here, that some of the Friar fans are a touch worried that what's happening this season could be a house of cards, considering all the injuries that are going on and considering the lineup that the Padres have rolled out here recently. Do you think it's a thing where, hey, it's amazing the Padres have treaded water this much and have one of the best records in baseball, or do you feel it is the beginning to an end for how they've been playing?
No, I think it's absolutely a great sign because, as you mentioned earlier, the injuries always happen. The injuries are going to happen, and I think the good teams weather the storm. And I think it's a testament to AJ's work that the guys coming up are capable players. He didn't really have that much budget to work with around the edges.
Okay.
And finding someone like Gavin Sheets to step into the breach, and Jason Hayward hasn't hit well, but he's still a good defender, and he'll have his day, and then these guys will all get back, and they'll get rolling again. So I think the idea is play 500 ball when everyone's out, and then get back to cooking when everyone's back.
Yeah, I mean, that's the dream. That's what we're all hoping for. And in the meantime, when you've got a team like Tampa Bay coming in, not the world's greatest offensively, but they pitch, they play defense. You also pitch and play defense. This is the battle of kind of the run prevention teams this weekend. Shane Baz on the mound, I believe, is the announced starter. They like to get cute. They don't want to name anybody, but I think it's Shane Baz. I know you're a big fan of Shane Baz, yeah?
Yeah. He was like a real stuff standout at the Futures game, and ever since I've been watching him. Post injury, he's a little bit different of a guy, but now he's sort of found his identity as a fastball curve guy. And they're pretty good pitches.
Well, we got some great matchups. I mean, Michael King against Shane Baz tomorrow night. Dylan Cease is going to be on the bump. Dylan Cease, again, what are you're seeing on him? I know a lot of Padre fans are worried right now, but I saw some really good stuff out of him the last start. Just hasn't seemed to put it all together for one full outing yet from Dylan Cease, which we've kind of come to expect here from Dylan. But are you seeing anything concerning about him?
No, not at all.
Good.
I think I think there's actually a chance for him to just get on a real roll here, because the changeup does look better than it ever has looked. I mean, he's actually selling the arm motion on it. It's a little bit harder, and I think there's a chance that that's going to be an important pitch for him. I wish he threw a cutter or something that he could throw in the zone when he loses the zone sometimes, and he does lose the zone sometimes, but he's still throwing 97. He's still getting all the strikeouts, and I'm not worried about him at all. Like, one of these things that it's really simple analysis, but the batting average on balls in play across the league is 300 every year. It's like 290 every year. For his career, Dylan Cease is 290. Right now, it's 380.
Ooh.
So it's just, I'm not going to blame the defense on that one. I think it's just luck. It's just, that's how it's been so far, and it's not going to be that way going forward.
Well, if you're not worried, I'm not worried. That's why we have Eno on.
That's why we do this.
That's why we do it every Thursday.
I'm glad to hear Eno isn't worried about Cease. One guy I am wondering if you're worried about is Xander Bogaerts. When you look at contact that he makes, the play he's put in early here with the Padres, is that a guy you watch Eno and go, it's trending the wrong way, or do you feel he's a guy that can bounce back no problem as well?
He's done some work on regaining some of his lost bat speed, and I think that has led to a little bit some more strikeouts than he used to have. I think it's temporary. I think it's him finding his way, through this. You look at the top end exit velocities; they're still there, and the only thing that's a little bit out of whack is slightly more strikeouts than usual. But he's also being more patient than usual. And that's something that happens actually across the board. All batters are more patient in April than they are the rest of the season.
Interesting.
And I think it's like part of the feeling out process of seeing the league and seeing how they're pitching you and seeing what's going on. And then they get cooking. I don't see enough to say that the end is here. The sprint speed is doing all right. The bat speed is doing all right. I think he's going to be a good hitter, far into this contract. I do worry that he'll be the DH sooner rather than later. I know he's like the shortstop right now. That's the part I'm worried about.
Starting shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. You're the best, man. We are out of time. Go get a Gatorade or two in you and have a great rest of your day.
Breakfast burrito.
Next time, let's just record it the day before you go to fish and then have to get up and do this, buddy. Thanks so much for your time, my friend.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Eno.
That's Eno Saris from The Athletic. Always a pleasure.
God, he's great.
So it sounds like, hey, nothing to worry about. Dylan Cease about to go on a run. Xander Bogaerts about to go on a run. Everyone, calm down out there, guys. I hope what he says is true. This guy in the chat says he's very nice, telling us things we want to hear. I got to tell you, I feel better immediately. I don't know. Maybe I'm a rube, but I feel better immediately.
He didn't say he's going to be an MVP.
Right.
I was surprised to hear about the Xander stuff.
Yeah.
I was surprised to hear him say that.
The more strikeouts make sense. I did not know that about April. The guys taking more, trying to feel it out, trying to get in their groove. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Xander Bogaerts remains a bit of a mystery. We got a Rindle report coming up next. Got Sammy Levitt, I think, stopping by at some point, too, before the roundtable. Thanks for being here. We'll be right back. It's Ben and Woods and Jake on 97.3 The Fan. Welcome back, Ben and Woods. It's 97.3, The Fan. Got about an hour left of the the Woods. Actually, Jake and Woods. I don't ever get top billing, which is fine. I like it better that way.
You're top billing in my world.
I'm under the radar guy, which is fine. Jake and Woods and Paulie. Here we got a Rondo report coming up for you. Sammy Levitt's going to be stopping by. Got the round table right after this, man. It is like a fire drill.
Got a lot going on.
Run in there, suck down a piece of pizza, and then get right into more Padres talk. Should we be panicked about the Padres 2-4 road trip? All of those topics and then some will be coming up. Chris Hello is going to be your host today. So, yeah, it's a little bit different. Ben's such a professional host. I'm not that Chris isn't. I'm just excited to see it's different. You like it a little bit different.
Curious what questions he'll ask.
Yeah. He sent me a couple yesterday to think about and said fast forward him to Paul or forward him over to Paulie. I said, Paulie won't be there. Paulie's going to his shrink, which is, I'd much rather be at my shrink, but I need it, man. I'm white knuckling this thing. My therapist is out on maternity leave till like July. So I'm white knuckling life just in general, trying to get through. That's what I do. So you tell your therapist I said hello, Paulie, and that maybe he or she could do a couple little one-offs with your old pal Woodsy here.
You know, it does need to be said because you probably don't hear it enough, though, is I do have a strong appreciation for the way you approach mental health, by the way, and the way you talk about it in front of a group of people that everyone should be listening to the message you send out. So
it's important.
It's much, much appreciated. It's important. And I just think you should hear that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's very important. I used to feel a little bit ashamed, and I think a lot of men do. And I was tweeting about it last week that
I felt that very strongly before I started going.
Suicide is the number one killer of men under 50. And that just shouldn't be. And I think, we have a very strong female audience who I love and adore. But this message really is for men, because men are the ones that are shamed constantly, as I was last week. That asking for help does not make you weak. It does not. In fact, it makes you strong. And you need that. You got to have that in your life. You have to have the ability to say, all right, I can't do this on my own. I need somebody to bounce ideas off of. And yeah, man, you talked about earlier, like you get to the point where you just say, F it. Like, this is important. And if anybody out there, ever needs an ear, I always joke that I'm San Diego's concierge, but I'm always here for you. Always. My DMs have always been open for that very reason. So don't feel any shame whatsoever. You shouldn't. Do you love your wife? Do you love your kids? Do you love your family? You want to be around? Sometimes that's the thing that you need to do. So I don't want to get on a high horse. I'm not better than anybody. Certainly. I'm way worse than so many people. But that is one thing that I thought I just got to let guys know in particular. It's okay, dude. It's absolutely okay. It's absolutely okay to say, I don't got this anymore. I've lost it. I need help. Doesn't make you any less of a man. It makes you more of a man, in my opinion. Truly.
For me, the biggest revelation with therapy was that it was unique and refreshing to talk to somebody whose only care in the world is your well-being.
It's crazy.
I've been going to therapy before I met my wife, but my wife would fall into the same category of somebody that I love and trust. I had my crew of my 5 best, closest friends in my entire life, but there were things where I didn't really want to talk about it with them, because they might only tell me what I want to hear, not what I should hear or need to hear. Whereas my therapist is like, I don't know these other people that you're talking about. I don't know this situation. I'm only interested in your well-being.
Yeah. It's been a revelation, man. And again, I'm not perfect, bro. I lash out. I yell at my kids. I lose my temper. It happens. I certainly, it just is, but without it, that's where I shudder to think where I would be, because it's not easy to get through this, man. It's not easy to get through life. It's hard enough, especially these days. So if you need help, please ask for help. Please, you can come to me. I'll help you.
It's okay to not be okay.
It's okay to not be okay. The Rondo Report always makes me okay. I really love the Rondo Report. We're going to do that for you right here.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Rondo Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Rondo Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah? Oh yeah.
All right.
All right.
My little guys recreated that in the shower the other night, and it's
Oh, yeah?
and it's really I'll record it so you can hear it.
the
It's so
best.
good.
I love
Well,
it.
now their voices are deeper.
Can I get a
Can I get a
yeah?
oh yeah? Like it's really really funny. It's really funny.
All right, gentlemen. Jake, welcome to the Ryan Report. A couple of stories we haven't quite gotten to yet this morning.
But he may be able to really help us on one of these.
Yes.
Mr. NFL over here to my left.
Love it.
Let's start with Mr. NFL here. We do have the NFL draft tonight.
Yes.
I've already said I probably won't be watching.
I will be
You
tuned
will,
in.
and
100%.
that surprises me a little bit, but there are some storylines that I absolutely will be following. I just don't need 20 minutes of Rich Eisen talking, and
You're gonna get it.
and
That's
then
what you're gonna get.
and then a 30-second pick, and then more analysis.
Bro,
I can't do it.
That's the draft.
I can't do it. I am curious, like, who goes number 1?
Yeah.
Oh, we know
where
that.
where does Travis Hunter fall?
Cam Ward, yeah.
Cam Ward, Travis going too.
Yeah,
Travis going
I
too.
think so, right? I think so. But the most intriguing and most polarizing person in the draft has got to be Shedeur Sanders.
No question.
And I was reading earlier this morning how, you can, like everything, you can bet on anything these days. And FanDuel, DraftKings, all these other websites. A few months ago, you could place a bet on the NFL draft. Where would Shedeur Sanders fall? At one point, he was the favorite, number 1 overall. Then it was like pretty crappy odds. Like he was absolutely going to be a top 10 pick. Now he's projected like mid to late first round, if at all, tonight in the first round.
I actually saw somebody say he may not get picked, which is
There's a lot of people are saying he may not get picked. And I think
4,000 yards, 40 touchdowns.
A lot of this stems from earlier in the week. I don't know that we ever actually talked about this. I believe it was from NFL Network, but there was a report from the unnamed sources,
Unnamed scout,
the NFL assistant coach who said, quote, "He was the worst formal interview I've ever been in my life." This is Shedeur Sanders. He's so entitled. He takes unnecessary sacks. He never plays on time. He has horrible body language. He blames teammates. But the biggest thing is he's not that good.
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
And
that's some damning commentary right before the
I've
draft.
seen connections to the Steelers. I think they pick 21st tonight. That maybe that's a good spot for him to go. But his draft stock has plummeted. Now, I don't know. Is it still a surprise now if he goes 8th or something like that? I think so.
I think, Woodsy, you said it there. It's tough to hear right before the draft. Isn't that kind of a coincidence? I think what people lose in this process a lot of the times is a lot of this information that is coming out is because teams want that information to come out about a player.
Chess match.
It is.
Chess
it
match.
really is. Is Shedeur going to go in the first round? 1,000%.
I agree.
Because somebody wants to go get him.
Yes.
And now, is talent-wise, is he a top 5 pick? I don't think so yet by any means. But is he a first-round pick? The way we value quarterbacks in the National Football League, 100%. And I think a lot of what you're hearing about Shedeur, and they know what to play off of. Entitled. Using that word sounds really good because of who his dad is,
That's
right?
exactly right.
They know what to play off of. They know it's going to sound good. They know a lot of people are going to believe it. The dude's going today.
Just like Bo Callahan, Paulie. Entitled.
Just like Bo Callahan.
Nobody even went to that kid's birthday party. And look what happened.
I saw that exact tweet.
You get Bo.
Yeah.
Shedur's draft stock is dropping because nobody went to his birthday
Nobody went
party.
to his birthday party. Right.
Yeah.
Look, I'm fascinated by the draft. It's life-changing. It's such a special day for these kids. And there's so many of these guys going in the first round that are, in my opinion, going to be superstars in this league. I think Ashton Genty is one of them. I think Travis Hunter is another one. I love those guys. I love the way they play football.
This is the week, and this is especially the day where you're going to get a lot of reports. Oh, I'm hearing that this team.
Here's what
I did see one, though. It was Cleveland drafts Travis Hunter.
Yep.
Trades up into the mid to late teens.
And
then goes and gets Shedeur.
Wow, Kevin Costner's really working hard.
He is. I love Daniel Jeremiah's coverage so much. He is such a stud. We've had him on the show before. Big Padres fan as well at Move the Sticks. This guy does the most research. Here's what made me nuts is yesterday I'm watching Daniel Jeremiah like finishing up his draft coverage, and he's like, when they start doing mock trades for like they're going to send a lineman and a wide receiver to Cleveland. I was like, Daniel, you're making me nuts. You're making me insane right now. Like, how are you doing this? And of course, we will have coverage of the draft right here on 97.3 The Fan later. I'm weirdly into the draft every single year. I like what they wear. I like them hugging their moms. I get misty-eyed and cry at every single draft. Just like when a guy wins a golf tournament. I'm weeping when he runs and hugs his wife and kid. When that dude stands up and hugs his mom and hugs his dad, there's something about it, man. As a father, you get it, right? And I love the draft, dude. I do. I'll watch the entire first round.
Dude, I'm the exact same way. I'll watch like 6 rounds for sure. I mean, it gets
really
just
intense. One for me. That's
can I
it.
say something though about Shedeur? And here's what I think people. I'm from Colorado, grew up out there, right? And one thing I think people don't understand, and I know the Sanders family gets a lot of hate.
Yeah,
this man Dion going to Boulder changed the entire complex of that entire city. The attendance at the school, the diversity, and anyone who's from Boulder knows what it was like before.
Correct.
Of that city, the money that goes into there. He brought excitement. So I think it is funny the amount of hate that both Shedeur and Dion get when it's like,
me too.
Are you looking at the big picture here?
Yeah, we've always said that.
Dion was an easy target for the media to, anytime there was any trouble, it's like, oh, it's Deion Sanders' fault. But I still kind of stand by it. And I said it when 2 years ago now, like, would you not have signed up for Deion Sanders to be the head coach at San Diego State?
Oh my God.
The attention and the notoriety and
the heartbeat.
Just the how fast he was able to change that program to not just being relevant. We're talking ESPN game day relevance at your school.
Guess where your old pal Woods would probably be more than the 0 times I've been. Down there watching practice. Honestly, he's a needle mover. I'm
Guess
sorry.
what the hell we'd be talking about?
That's it.
A lot more. I mean, 1,000%.
Yeah, no question, man. No question.
All right, we'll move on. I was going to bring up the playoffs in the NBA, but there's really not a whole lot to discuss. The only really thing of note was yesterday, Jimmy Butler took a really hard fall.
Right on his ass.
Right on his ass, right on the tailbone. As soon as he went down, he was writhing in pain. I go, he is done. It's happened before. If you have ever fallen and really legitimately bruised your tailbone, there's few things worse. He was trying to play through it. He could not walk. Removed from the game. He did not return. They called it a pelvis contusion. And so he's going to get an MRI today. They don't play until Saturday now. The Warriors did lose yesterday to Houston, so that series is tied 1-1. So they got a couple of days to figure out. But if Jimmy Butler, like Steve Kerr just said, if Jimmy can't go, we have to redo everything. We just don't know right now.
Yeah, it changes the game plan.
So
I did watch 10 minutes of that game last night. It's the most physical NBA game I've seen in a long time.
That looked like
it was real. My man Dylan Brooks always mixing
guys
it up.
like you. Hey, it's not the game I grew up watching. Looked a little bit like the 90s yesterday.
It did. It looked like the 90s.
Thanks to Draymond, by the way.
Thanks to Draymond.
Why Jimmy has a bruised.
I know. Bruised butt.
But I do want to talk about this story that I saw pop up this morning. We've talked about Ben Affleck several times on this show. He's been a lot of our favorite movies.
Such a fan.
Kind of a problematic guy at times.
I'm such a fan of his.
For me, I am, but he's also very hard to defend sometimes. And I'm like, what are you doing, man? But Ben Affleck was in the news this week because he was talking about his kids. And I thought this was fantastic. So he has 3 children with Jennifer Garner, a 19-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 13-year-old. And he was talking about, there was a video that went viral recently where he told his 13-year-old son that he could not have a pair of shoes that cost, wait for it, $6,000.
How do you even have the stones to go ask your dad for $6,000 tennis shoes?
Kid asks his dad, I want these shoes. How much are they? What? And
13.
He says to his dad, Ben Affleck, well, what are you talking about? We have the money. And he goes, no. I have the money.
I have the money.
You're broke.
You're broke.
And he talks about how if you want those shoes, he basically goes on and he talks about how he wants his kids. He insists that his children who don't have a care in the world, they have no problems. They're going to be set for life when you're talking that kind of money. He demands that they work minimum wage jobs early as teenagers to build character. He was doing an interview recently. Here's what he had to say about the shoes.
See these sneakers. I was like, this sneakers $6,000. What are you talking about? We're gonna pay what are you gonna do? Mow lawns? Like you got $6,000? He's like, we have the money. I was like, I have the money, bro. As far as I know, you haven't lend me $5,000. Right. You got nothing. She's like, listen, you love your kids. You want to give them everything and do everything for them. But I think you definitely do them a disservice by like not connecting. You want something meaningful that you want.
Yeah.
You have to work for that.
I think that's great parenting right there. I really do.
Yeah,
as a guy that doesn't have kids, I would say that right there is great parenting. I guess I'm biased. I'm speaking from experience. You know, I had to work in college.
Yeah.
I had to work in high school. Even I bought my first car. You know what I mean? Like I do think you're better for it in the long run.
Question.
I think the kid was smart. He would have asked Papa Ben if he could afford the $9,000 MASN deal to watch the Orioles games, opposed to. See, it's not about spending expensive money. It's about spending the money in the right spot,
in the right areas.
When you know a ripping deal, you know a ripping deal. The Orioles for $9,000 is a good deal.
Now he's a Red Sox fan. He's probably going to say absolutely not. I spent $9,000 to watch the Red Sox, but I'm not going to watch the Orioles. I'm not going to give you $9,000 to watch the Orioles. It's a great lesson. I mean, it's a great lesson. It's one of the things you that you fight every day as a parent of like, I gotta give them everything they want, but how do I also make them not entitled little a-holes, right? And work and have a work ethic and, you know, dedicate yourself to something, whatever it may be. That's all your dream is as a parent. Your kids are dedicated. They find something they absolutely love and that they throw themselves into it. That's it. Whether it's sports, whether it's athletics, whether it's academics, whatever it is, you know, but we've already had the conversation. My kids are 7 and 4. Grades are important. You know, working hard, being diligent. You will get a job. You will have a job. Could be an easy job. You could be, you know, working at the YMCA, playing with kids like I did in high school. If your grades slip, guess what? You're going to go work for old Uncle Foster down at Encinitas Ranch. You're going to be polishing golf carts.
I did that in high school.
And be there at 4:00 in the morning. And, you know, you're going to see like, you're going to have to develop this work ethic.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. It can be a fun job. It doesn't have to be tough manual labor.
Bro, you get good grades. Go get a job. I don't care what you do. As long as you're working and making a little bit of money.
When I was 15 and a half, my first job was in Seattle. I worked at the Seahawks Pro Shop.
It's a great gig.
Sold jerseys on game days.
I worked
at
a store called Leaders in Connecticut. And I worked in the toy department. And I used to price toys and put them on the rack. That was my little area, and I was 15 and I learned, you know, you get your paycheck for $43 for 2 weeks. You're like, dude, I am filthy rich. I'm filthy rich.
Dude, you want to toughen them up. When I was 16, my first job was umpiring baseball.
That's like the hardest gig out there.
I had grown parents come up to me as a 16-year-old and tell me I was going nowhere in life. I'm like, sorry, Johnny didn't take the bat off his shoulder.
Yeah, sorry, you can't hit, man. I don't.
Dude, you'll work hard for your money if you're umpiring baseball.
It's a really good call.
And it's a very rare I can relate to Ben Affleck in my life, but you know the meme of him just ripping that heater?
That heater?
Yeah, it's
my whole life.
Yeah, exactly. That's just too real for me
Standing
sometimes.
Outside, just.
And I don't have kids, but what you said is perfect. But my wife and I's 2 Great Danes are spoiled as hell, so I really they don't pay rent.
Now imagine like your dad, I really want this. You're like, all right, fine. Like you're a sucker for him. I know I am. But it's such a good.
We've said it before. I do think every kid at one point, whether it's college, high school, whatever, you should work in a restaurant.
Got to work in a restaurant at some point in your life.
That will teach you
everything
so much, whether it's good or even bad. And you're like, I don't want this.
Yeah, I can't do it. But everybody should work in a restaurant. Everybody should serve once in their life.
I agree.
You know, for a period of time, you have to do it. It's almost a necessity to get through. Thank you, Paulie. Great job on the Rindle Report. We got Sammy Levitt coming up at some point. I don't know if I think he's going to be in the building because he's going to be on the roundtable. We'll catch up with Sammy and wrap this thing up. Get ready for the roundtable brought to you by Roundtable Pizza. It's pizza royalty right here on Ben and Woods 97.3 The Fan.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place. Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego.
Welcome back, Ben and Woods and Jake Ariani from CBS 8. Thanks so much for hanging out today, man. It's been a blast having you. You're quite the radio natural.
No, not at all. I know you guys all want Ben back here, but I've been very blessed to be here, and I had a blast being with you guys.
Crushed it, man. This has been fun.
It's been a blast.
I get so lucky sometimes in life. Like, I'm not supposed to be here at all. I'm covered in tattoos. I got a bad attitude. Everything about me doesn't make sense. And when you get days like this to hang out with you guys and all these great people, you're just really humbled. And it's been awesome to hang out with you guys. I've had a blast, and you guys are just incredible at what you do. I know you two know that, and it's been a ton of fun. So thank you for inviting me on.
So tomorrow, I don't think we announced, but with Ben being out, we wanted to have some other fantastic local TV sportscasters joining us in studio this morning. Jake joining us from CBS 8. Tomorrow morning, we got a full show for you tomorrow, but we're going to have Julian, Fox 5 is going to sit in. So we will grade your performance versus his performance tomorrow.
Julian needs to bring the heat.
I'll grade it for you now. Julian's an A+.
Okay. All right.
Julian is such a stud, man. I mean, from head to toe, both looks and attitude, that guy is awesome. You guys are going to have a lot more fun tomorrow.
Here's the thing.
I'm just warming it up for him.
You asked us yesterday. You said, "What do I need to wear?" I said, "Well, I mean, you're on camera, you're on YouTube, like however you want to dress, bro. I'll probably be wearing a hoodie. Guess what I'm wearing? I'm wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, I'm wearing a white T-shirt,
keeping it casual. Julian's going to dress.
He's coming to
dress tomorrow. Like, do we have to step our game up, Woods?
I won't. I'm not gonna. It's Friday, dude. I mean, I'm going to be in the same. I'm in joggers right now. That's what I wear.
Bro, we're so opposite. Like, I have to wear a suit and tie every day for work.
Nightmare.
The second I don't have to wear a suit and tie, I'm in shorts with kicks on and a T-shirt that says "Be a good person" because that's how I'm vibing in life. Julian's gonna bring the knives, baby.
Yeah, he'll be ready to kill tomorrow. I got a text yesterday too. That was a pretty cool moment for me. And I'm going to try to get this thing done for tomorrow. But I got a text from Carlos Quentin, former Padre great, one of our favorites. We got to do fantasy camp with Carlos Quentin a couple of years ago, and they did it locally.
That's right.
One of the coolest guys I have ever met. We've had him in studio before. And we just found out, you're going to be joining us at fantasy camp this year. First time ever.
Very excited.
Oh, my God.
Get ready, bud.
Dude, I'm jacked. I haven't played baseball since I left playing college baseball. I have not picked up a bat or a ball since my last game in college.
You played in college?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. So I played football and baseball at a small Division II school in college.
Counts.
But I rode
That
the bench.
counts.
I rode the bench on both of them.
Counts.
Like,
You
I
were
wasn't
on the
good.
team. You were a two-sport athlete in college.
Yeah.
I was a two-sport bench rider in college.
Counts.
You
Absolutely
were on two
counts.
sports teams in college that weren't the club teams.
That's exactly right.
That's really good.
On the bench.
On the bench, fine.
And at a school no one's ever heard of. But I did have a good time.
What school?
It's called Adams State University in Alamosa, Colorado.
Wow, man.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said no one's ever heard of it.
I think that's spectacular. You're going to have a blast at fantasy camp. It is like no other experience ever. Start stretching and get your body ready, run a little bit, throw a little bit, all that. That's because everybody goes down. You don't want to be like John Howard, your counterpart over there, the guy you work with, blew out his ACL on the first swing in batting practice. But it is it's an incredible time.
I cannot wait. It was funny yesterday. Carlo, our main anchor at CBS 8, is throwing out the first pitch on Saturday for the CBS 8. So him and I are throwing the rock a little bit in the parking lot.
Sick.
Dude, my elbow about blew out. There were like 3 throws in. I'm like, I'm cooked.
Well, what I was going to say is Carlos Quentin texted me yesterday out of the blue, and he's got something that he's working on. And it's for kids and mental skills for kids in Little League. And I go, well, that's right up our alley, right up a lot of the tier ones alley as well. And so I think Carlos may come in tomorrow and hang with us at 9. So we'll have a big party on Friday like we always do. There's no Padre game tonight to talk about. We'll talk about the draft. We'll talk about, the preview of the series against the Tampa Bay Rays. But yeah, man, we'll get after it tomorrow. Have some fun.
Since we're talking about tomorrow, it's Friday. The team comes back, takes on the Rays tomorrow night. We've got AJ Preller scheduled to join us tomorrow at 8:00.
Look at that.
8:00 tomorrow morning. So we will have a little Friar Friday with AJ Preller.
AJ Preller, president of baseball ops. I wonder if he'll be more loose now that Ben's not here. If I can get him to loosen up a little bit.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
My favorite, the one, it's funny you bring up loose because after it was the DS when they beat the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And we were in the clubhouse and you know what it was? We were in New York after they beat the Mets.
Yeah.
And there's champagne popping. And I had my favorite interview of all time with AJ because he was just a little bit looser, relaxed. You had seen like the weight come off of his shoulders.
No
I
doubt.
think that was the year he was under so much pressure.
Yes.
Because they were like, hey, you better win this year or not.
Win.
And the weight had come off his shoulders. And I promise you, that is the coolest dude. He is a gangster. He is the coolest dude in the world.
I've talked to him many times off air, and it's a totally different experience.
Dude, he's such a G.
He is such a G. And we'll talk to him tomorrow. At what time, Paulie?
8:00.
Nice, man. Looking forward to that. We'll take a short break, and we will be back. You know that's your cue to call 833-288-0973. Paulie will take the third caller, and you'll go see Elton John. How about that? And then the great Sammy Levitt will pop in, join us next, get you ready for the round table coming up right after the show ends at 10 o'clock for Ben and Woods and Jake on 97.3 The Fan.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Segment of Ben and Woods, mercifully on a Thursday. 97.3 The Fan. Thank you guys for hanging in. The chat's been insanely active today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for participating in the chat. Thanks so much to Jake Ariani from CBS 8 for coming out. I know you got a long day ahead of you too, my friend. Can't tell you how much we appreciate the effort and the time. And no, I will not come and help you on yours. That's how I operate, dude. I'm sorry.
You did already.
I did, actually. That's true.
Repaying the favor, except this is way more fun than what I made you do.
No, I mean, listen, it's totally different. But I also wasn't there for like 3 hours either, because I wouldn't have done it if I had to be there for 3 hours. I was there for half an hour, 45 minutes.
I'm amazed you guys have put up with me for 3 hours.
It's been great.
I thought we were going to do the first hour, and you'd be like, all right, get out of here. It's
been great, man. It's been great. Thanks so much for hanging out. Everyone's really enjoyed it too. I like this too. And, you know, Ben is like the most secure person. He's not an insecure guy. We're just messing with him. And it's fun, man. It's fun to meet all these people and hang out with these people that we're
gonna get a new voice.
We're in the trenches with them, you know, on a daily basis. So really appreciate it. All right, let's check traffic. We'll be joined by the great Samuel Levitt next.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Just a few problems wrapping up our morning drive. One of them is a crash on northbound 805 for Home Avenue. It's blocking the right lane. Also, southbound 15 at the West 8 connector ramp, stalled SUV partially in that right lane. And on the coastline, southbound 5 before Delmar Heights Road, we have reports of a stalled vehicle in the center divide. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And joining us now in studio live, the great Sammy Levitt. Sammy, buddy, how are you?
Good morning, guys. Jake, great to see you. Jake and I have gone back and forth over the course of the last few months because I keep telling him I'm going to come up to Pine Valley and hang out for an afternoon.
Where is Pine Valley?
It's if you get on the 8 East and drive 40 minutes, you'll hit Pine Valley.
Nice.
We've lived out there.
We drive right by it on our way out to Arizona. So you pass like Viejas Casino, and then you go another 5 minutes or
about 10 minutes past Viejas to where we are, because we're kind of up towards Mount
Sunrise Valley
Highway. Yeah, you know, we get
a big
snow
spread
and stuff.
You have a big spread.
If what you're asking is land, is that what you're asking?
That's what I'm asking. Yes,
I don't know.
I'm talking about land.
You hipster. We have 4 acres. we I tell you what, we got 4 acres, we got trees, we got fresh air, we got.
Do you have to care for all of those acres?
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Told you, he's more of a man than you and I
like a
combined.
nightmare.
Not really, dude. Not at all.
Does your wife make you like, you need to go out and clear the back 40 or whatever? Like, there's no way.
How about this? Do you chop wood?
Oh. Dude, I chop wood.
Get out of here, really?
Hell yeah. Okay, here's a funny story. We need to hear from Sammy because he's more important. But when we first bought
Jake,
the house,
they hear from me plenty on this radio
when,
station.
when we first bought the house, I didn't have enough money to buy a log splitter. We just bought a home in San Diego. I had zero money. So I had to literally, and our house is heated in the winter by a wood burning stove. So
You're joking.
I'm not joking. We have heat, but I didn't want to pay for it because I'm stubborn. I'd literally out there with an axe chopping wood, and I'm like, in this, that's not really me. But
I bet your wife thought that was so hot. My wife would actually love to see me chopping wood, but she also knows he's gonna hit something. Something's going to fly off and either cut it, like hit him in the leg, or go through the window. I'm kind of a buffoon, and I'll wear it. That's fine.
Just bounces off the wood.
Hits me in the forehead.
I've done that.
Have you?
And I almost cut my leg off with a chainsaw. I'm not made for this life, but I try it.
Man, that is cool. Sammy, we're not that way.
No.
We're not built that way.
I've never touched a lawnmower in my entire life.
Right when I met Ben, I think one of the first shows, I was like, I looked at him, I go, "You've never cut your own grass. You're the allergy kid, weren't you?" He goes, "Yeah, I was the allergy kid." I knew it the minute I saw him.
In my defense, I think East Coast, it's very common to have the landscaping crew come through. I mean, they're all over the place.
No doubt. Like, you can't even really get away from it. It's kind of like in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, this is what we do.
My parents weren't big, like, get
Outdoors.
on the lawnmower.
Yeah.
No, really not.
Ben was the allergy kid, though. He didn't do it because he had allergy. He also didn't ride a bike. He never rode a bike.
Makes me
Wow.
so sad.
That's weird.
It's odd. It's odd.
Huh.
But that's the stuff I love the most about him, is like everything for him, isn't it? For me, I'm like, oh, I get to take you here. Oh, you get to try this. You've never done this before.
Do you think we could get Ben on my Indian motorcycle?
No.
Not at all.
No chance. Not solo.
Would he ride on the back with me?
Yeah, that'd be the greatest video of all
pay
time.
for
I'll
you.
pay
I'll
money.
make whatever we got to do to make this happen.
Yeah, I think Ben on the back of the Indian with me would be maybe the greatest content of all time.
It would be so sick.
We have to make this happen.
Dude,
I used to go on some hikes around that area. I know the Sunrise Highway pretty well. That would be a blast to ride around on. We got to get him out there.
I got a cherry red vintage Indian. He would look great on the back.
You're such a badass.
Great on the back.
Man, I hope my wife's not listening right now.
Yeah, Jake is he's a cool guy.
He's a man's man.
Yeah.
Not as cool as
guy.
You know what I was thinking about the other day?
What?
Before we let you talk Padres baseball, you have the greatest laugh of all
Ever.
time. It
It's
came up
so
somewhere.
good.
Yes, dude. Your
When he
laugh
gets
is
going?
infectious.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, I just wanted to compliment you on that. real quick.
Thank you.
When Sammy gets going.
Can I chime into your the conversation you were having about jobs?
Yes.
Early jobs.
Yes.
I had a lot of them. One of my favorites was I was a waiter at a synagogue on Long Island for bar mitzvahs and weddings.
Incredible.
Would have to dress up in a tuxedo. Would be pouring champagne
How
at the
old?
front. I was in high school.
Yeah,
I think I did
16,
it.
17?
I think my first summer back from college, I did it a little bit as well. And it was like kind of awesome because it was a good paycheck because it would be like a 9-10 hour shift.
Yeah.
And you would get paid and I think get tips on top of that. But it was like kind of cool because I wouldn't get out till like 2-3 a.m.
Yeah.
So I'd be
you
like
felt like an adult.
17, 18,
Yeah.
driving back on the highway.
You're like
Yeah.
grizzled. Like you're like I'm a grizzled.
Yeah. I love
Grizzled
that.
guy now.
Yeah, worked at a bagel shop for a hot second.
That probably wasn't
Cape
great.
Cod. When I was doing the Cape Cod Baseball League, I had multiple waiter jobs up there
While you were doing
Yes,
announcing and stuff.
in the mornings. I worked at a place called the Fairway Restaurant, East Ham, Massachusetts.
That's
up
amazing.
the arm of the Cape.
What's the Cape Cod League like? I've heard it's
Amazing.
awesome. I've heard it's just
Amazing.
incredible.
2 amazing summers. It's an interesting league because the reason it originally became what it is because it was the only league that would use wood bats.
Yeah.
So it would attract a lot of scouts and be like the best college players, which it still does. So on one hand, you have unbelievable talent because it's still the best college summer league in the country, but there's a pureness to it. There's no tickets. these teams play at like middle school fields. It's literally like how you imagine it, like up a berm, people laying out their chairs and their blankets. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
Like for a baseball fan, you would love it.
I would love it.
Like get out there
I
at
will.
some point.
I absolutely
It's
will.
awesome.
One of the coolest things about the Cape Cod League is that the players stay with like these host families,
Yep.
right? Did the announcers did you get to do the same thing?
My first summer I stayed at a house. It was a lady and her kids, and she was housing a lot of people that were working up there. Like there were like a lot of international people that would come for the summer for jobs that were pretty young. And so like there were a couple of other girls that were staying
It's like a
there,
hostel.
and kind of.
Yeah.
And then somebody I worked with at the team at the Firebirds, the Orleans Firebirds, used to be the Orleans Cardinals. We lived there together. And then my second summer I lived with the other guy that did play-by-play, and we lived in like kind of somebody's basement in Orleans.
Did you
it was fine.
Did you ever work any Pioneer
No.
league games? Because I wanted to mention, shout out to Tier 1
forgot to do this
pitcher.
last
We
week.
did. So we've got a guy that we picked up this year on our baseball team that we play on Sundays. His name's Eric Sandness, and he's a stud. I mean, big, tall, 6'6", throws absolute chad, nasty slider, the whole bit. He just got picked up by the Pioneer League. He's going to go and
really.
That's
He was a prospect
years ago. Yeah,
and I get he's been trying to
Wait,
work.
somebody that was on your team.
He's on my
we
team.
just picked him up this season.
Yeah, he's pitched for us all
Is
season.
that one of the draft leagues? Not draft leagues. That one of the partner leagues?
It's a partner league. Yeah, it's
Wow.
an MLB partner
Yeah,
league.
look, I have my first job was in the Frontier League. I worked in the Frontier League for 3 seasons. Now at that point, there was no affiliation between Major League Baseball and any of the independent leagues, which has changed, which is nice that there is some relationship there. But we've guys picked up. Actually, one really cool thing that I don't think I didn't tell anybody about it, or even really talk about it with anybody. One really cool thing that happened was last year when I did those couple of games against the Twins, they had a right-hander named Trevor Richards. And Trevor was on one of my independent league teams, a guy I know really, really well from those days with the Gateway Grizzlies in the Frontier League. And there aren't a lot of guys who make it from the Frontier League to getting to the big leagues.
Yeah.
And he was pitching in one of those games, which was like a really cool full circle moment.
That's
he was
insane.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, this kid, we picked him up, and he's been really great for us. And he's like, I'm going to try out for the Pioneer Leagues. He was
Wow.
the 13th pick, and so we're losing him, right? Like we're losing him,
tough
but
for
I'm
y'all.
so happy for him. Like,
That's awesome.
and he's with us till mid-May, and I'm like, do you still want to?
Isn't he much better than everybody else in your league?
Yeah,
He is. He's really good. He's really, really good. But the competition in our league is nasty. Like I
Wow.
can't stand it. It's way too much for me. I'm overwhelmed.
I'm out of the loop on this league. I figured this was kind of like the league you guys play. No offense, was like kind of like a not
beer league softball
It's not
style?
a beer league.
No, it's
competitive,
as
baby.
competitive as it gets. It's as far as adult baseball
It's not
goes.
as competitive as it gets.
No, for a
But for
50-year-old, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yes.
Yeah, it's
I gotta
pretty
come to
gnarly.
one of these games.
It's good. We have 9 a.m. Escondido High on Sunday.
Dude, let's go call one.
It's a tough one.
Yeah,
though.
You could
call
get some
one.
play-by-play. I'll add a little color commentary.
But I thought that was so cool. He's going to
I could stream it on my TikTok.
the Missoula paddleheads. Paddleheads. Yeah. Missoula paddleheads. So pretty
for
stoked.
him.
So
Nice.
Eric, congratulations. We love you and proud of you. It's
Yeah,
pretty
Pioneer
cool.
League,
Story.
not affiliated with Major League Baseball, but an MLB partner.
Partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the specifics, but they've made it a little easier for those guys, I think, to get picked up by major league organizations.
Yeah.
There is a relationship there. Whereas when I was working in the Frontier League, this was 14, 15, and 16. There was no affiliation at all. You would just have scouts that would come and
Maybe.
sometimes these guys would get signed, but like even for those guys, they would get signed and it was cool and good for them. But, and that's the point of the league from a player standpoint. But I mean, you really think about it, it's a long road even then for a guy like that to then rise through a system and, just be a guy from an independent league. It's against the odds, and some guys have, which is cool.
Those cats love the game, man.
Yeah.
That's why they're still doing it. They're
Yeah.
gonna be riding the buses, and there's 4 hours to each ballpark and everything else.
Yeah.
And I love that for him, and I'm stoked for him. Sammy, Padres taking on the Rays this weekend. Got to get back to Petco Park. They did 12-1 at home. You want to see that trend continue. We've been talking the last couple days about, it's a bummer. Like, I was thinking about it too. You lost to the Astros, who have just won 3 straight. You lost to the Tigers, who are a really, really good team. They're also playing at home, where they're all playing well at home. No one's really crushing it on the road right now in Major League Baseball.
No, look, I find the Padres right now, sounds weird to say this, they're kind of a tough team to talk about from my perspective right now. And I think you guys said something maybe a little bit similar earlier, just because A, the record is still really good. B, from like the negative standpoint, I don't really know what else to say other than they're really banged up. I mean, when you're dealing with this number of significant injuries all at once and your lineup is as compromised as it is right now, I look at yesterday's game. Yeah, tip of the cap to Reese Olson.
He's great.
Look, Kyle Hart could have been better, but kept it a 2-0 game, kept him in the ball game. But from the offensive standpoint, to me, there's like 2 buckets of it. A, the guys at the top of the lineup have to produce. Right. And they got to carry the load because they're just missing so many guys. And guys at the bottom half of the lineup, this is their opportunity. Seize it. I mean, you have to contribute. And yesterday, other than Jose Iglesias having a couple of hits, nobody really did anything yesterday offensively. So it's just a tough moment to talk about them because I don't really have an answer.
You're like in standstill. You're just kind of like in this waiting.
I don't have an
mode.
answer. Like, it's like, well, this is kind of the deal until you start getting Merrill and Arise and Cronenworth back. And I said it yesterday, when they're healthy, I don't worry about this offense at all. And we saw in the first couple of weeks what they are when they're fully healthy.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
But it's a hard team to like judge and talk about and honestly be really hard on them,
right?
Because it's like, well, they're missing so many guys. And look, their depth is being tested. If you think there should be other names up here, I don't know who that is from AAA. Maybe they can try some different guys if they have to, but you got to move things around the 40-man if you're going to do that. I mean, you've made the point before. What, the only position player not on the 40-man is Camposano right now? I mean, on the 40-man, not on the 26-man.
Correct.
So yesterday I kept saying it, and we're taking calls and whatnot, and just like, I don't have a great answer other than you got to just maintain, try to pick up some wins, keep things level until you get guys back. And the formula is going to be really good starting pitching like they got from Pivetta the other day. Find ways to scratch across runs. They need Fernando and Manny and Xander and Gavin Sheets, these guys at the top of the lineup to produce and hopefully get something from the bottom half. But I don't got a great answer other than that right now.
You nailed it. It's tough to be hard on them. With their record, right?
Well, that's the other thing.
Their record's really good.
The loss sucked, but if we came in and we're flipping tables,
I
can't. A 17 and 18, it would just be performative.
I know.
I agree. It's a bit of a weird moment.
It is
early in the season. Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in today. Jake, you crushed it, man. Thank you so much for coming by. Jake Ariani. Check him out on CBS 8. Whenever you watch television, go watch Jake.
I want to say one thing before you guys let me go. Just appreciate y'all.
You're welcome, buddy.
You guys crush it. What you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Really appreciate it.
We're back tomorrow.